And with that, we are live. Hello, everybody. Sorry,
What's
I
up,
didn't
fuckers?
realize the intro music was muted in OBS there. I am being joined by Connor and Basements and JP for a tiny bit
A tiny bit. I'm tired.
as we get
Just the-
back
just the tip.
into
Just a
Outer
tiny bit.
Worlds. See how many
Show
times
me
I
your
died
tiny
this time.
bits.
Turn that
Just the tip.
It's better than nature.
I gotta speak to these.
It's fucking hobos standing around a fire.
It's not my fault the power's dead. Whoa.
This is the most
Isn't
fucking
Isn't this the happiest
hillbilly-
place on earth?
This guy
It's
looks
most
like a
hillbilly-
fucking mouse.
It's the most hillbilly Asian man I've ever
It
seen.
is.
Are things
Is that you?
safe out here?
No,
How you
No.
keeping?
It's Bok Choy.
Great, just
that's
great.
one of my
I've been trying to
companions.
keep stuff running.
They
Just
all
like you.
look
Oh,
Eerily
so
similar?
soulless.
Yeah.
Who are you?
They didn't kick you out, did
Who are
they?
you?
I'm the person looking
Oh, gosh,
between.
Where were you?
Oh my god, she's fucking Palpatine. You remember?
Yeah.
I see you wandering around here. You don't look like you're coming from town.
His mouth is not matching his words.
It is not.
Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town.
His mouth
or
not
if
matching
you
his
were one of
what?
us. Something
His
fishy,
words.
you see.
Not at all.
Fact is, I
See how it feels?
Something's been chewing at you. You better get that fixed,
Thinks I'm a
buddy.
mechanic,
Godzilla movies.
but I couldn't fix a busted chair.
Kill him.
I'll
You
take all the
deserve
help I
to
can
live.
I set my mind to learning the craft of the
Oh, boy.
engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering?
No, I have not.
Comes in a
Please
set of
regale
three.
me of its
If
tales.
I had my hands
I
on
wrote
one of
it.
those databooks,
Here it
I could
is.
teach myself the ins and outs.
That'll be
You blink,
5
sir?
My
pesos.
dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. She
Ah,
found another
man,
back in
this
town.
is-
God, you're so
It's
white.
fucking-
So bad.
His mouth is killing me.
The conversation.
Just
No,
the
his
mouth
mouth.
movement.
How did he keep his teeth so clean?
Yeah. And why is he so dirty?
I wish I knew. I wish
Yeah, that's the answer.
Where the third's gone.
The game
It's something
answered
about
you.
the
How do you feel,
radiation.
basement?
Something about the radiation makes my teeth glow.
Would you? I'd be grateful.
Today's your lucky day. Now I'm gonna shoot
I,
you. in-
I love these games.
Today's your
'cause
lucky
everyone,
day. Now I'm gonna shoot you in the face.
Everyone you meet is like, "Can you do this for me?" And
Yeah.
then you watch them, and he'll stand by this fire for the rest of his fucking life.
Yes.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, I could go look for them, but it's so warm here, and my mouth doesn't work properly.
I'm having a stroke.
Break,
Shove the
break,
data
break,
pads up
break,
his ass.
break.
You just said you could have said I have the
shoot
data
people.
pads.
Just start shooting people. Fuck them.
I think they're friendly.
They are
Oh,
really.
that's-
Can't see us
It's
in the dark.
Indiana
Wild
Jane.
pigs, on the other hand. The matter's been weighing on me. I'm staying put.
Get
until
it.
I
We don't
know
like
what
your
to be
kind
done.
around here.
Don't want that question haunting me all
Wet
the way
women.
back to the canyon.
What's up, Jurgen and Alpha?
What's up, bitches?
Oh, the doors have been blown off. Oh, take some of those apples.
Oh.
Fucking chow down on mock. What the fuck?
Mock apple.
Why would you have a barrel full of mock apples?
Sounds
What
great
is
to
this
me.
pla- I don't trust this place. Kill everyone.
Was this a
I'm with
McDonald's?
Can't feel those.
that was. I'm sorry. That was bad.
Why
But
are
I'm-
there mock apples everywhere?
Because
Why could've-
it's a McDonald's.
You could have given the weird fucking Asian man the data pads. You had them.
No, I don't have them yet.
Well, why was that an option in the dialogue?
Oh, I didn't see it. I can go back.
Oh, I gotta give him a little of that mock tua. Spit on that thing.
Oh, it's outside.
Just
the
rob them and
Never
disappear?
mind. Oops.
So we,
Have you heard
It's
this
the perfect
newfangled
mode.
thing called
oh,
crypto?
I saw this GTA mod that had me in fucking stitches. The guy
Tell it.
modded the
Ooh.
chicken figures. All right.
Oh, we'll give you a slow mo kill.
The guy modded a character to
Alright.
look like one of the
What
gun
the
like the
fuck?
guns dealers. like where you go to like in the shop. So he killed the gun shop person behind the counter, and so when another online player came to buy a gun, he'd fucking blow them to smithereens.
The oldest trick in the book. Oh God. What's the person following?
That's Pavarti.
Say this like I should know.
She was the one who was speaking before.
The last thing you want to do is be followed by random Indian women.
Where the hell do I have to go?
So you're just not going to give those data pads, huh? See how it is.
No, there's
Fuck
another
them data
quest I
pads.
have to do. It's telling me I have another quest I have to do here. In the same village, but...
You have to follow your heart.
Follow your nose. God damn this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Kidding? Really?
No, I'm kidding.
Come on. Look at that.
That is
That
it's all over the map.
Look at that.
Wow. That was...
Looking, speaking Timbalese.
Look at it. Would you like a peanut?
On the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me.
I'll let you know.
Sure. I'd be glad to take them off your hands.
Can you pay me?
Golly.
Sneak
Oh, wow.
Where is...
Arrow, yeah, what's that arrow that's looking under the earth?
I don't
Welcome
know.
to Earth.
Welcome to Earth. That's what he should have said to Chris Rock.
Spell E-R-F. Earth.
Comes now the power. What does that quest mean?
That's the quest I'm on now. I'm trying
I
to
thought there was a
convince
video series I was
everybody
watching
that
online.
they're for that? What the
But
fuck?
what does it all mean, Connor? What does it all mean?
I don't know.
Welcome to Earth. Oh my God, do you think that's what he said when his kids were first born?
Oh my god, if he didn't, he missed an opportunity.
Jaden comes out of the fucking disgusting butthole of his wife.
What the fuck is with this lady? She looks like Frankenstein.
Look at David. My name is Adelaide McDavid.
They call me Mrs. Prune.
God,
I
gotta
don't
go
know why.
back. I
I'm
don't know
only
what I gotta do
17.
now.
It is my 18th birthday on morning, yeah.
They told me either look old or mouth don't match words.
And so,
Here
you
I am.
understand my dilemma.
I
Is there an
gotta
option
go
to
all the
kill
way back.
yourself?
Oh wait, can I fast travel?
You have to ignite the power.
Yeah, I have to.
I have the power.
Oh, right there.
Why did I
What's
just
that?
sound like
No, hold
Seinfeld? I have the power.
Oh
Oh
my
God.
And what
It's
is
Reed.
with this power?
Hi, Rayshon.
It's pretty-
Going on?
Oh my god, the man, the
What's
myth,
up?
legend,
What's up?
the sexiness that is Rayshon.
Oh my God. Blown away by the sexiness.
Oh, yeah, I love that. I love that. You know what? I really appreciate that. How's everybody?
I
Doing
am good.
Doing good.
I
Oh,
worked
yes, boy.
and I finished, and now I'm here.
That's great.
You concluded? You completed?
I completed.
I'm gonna complete.
That's great.
I like honestly like I was off for a long time, and then I went back to work, and it only took like 20 minutes to be like, I think I never want to work this job again.
I'm telling you,
That's
I've been off since Christmas Eve, and I am absolutely dreading going back on Monday.
You know what the problem is? Like, even if the job is fucking dog
So
shit,
going back Monday?
Yeah.
Tomorrow, yeah.
I'm not going back until Thursday.
Luckily, I have a short week because I only have to do
I'm-
basically
I have to work Tuesday.
Monday. I do work Tuesday, but I get out early, and then I go in late on Thursday. So it's kind of like it's a weird week.
I
But
might take leave the week of Martin Luther King Jr.
I might just take
Oh,
leave
for my
forever.
birthday.
it's tempting.
Give
Trust me,
myself-
man.
birthday.
It's,
honestly, I think I'm gonna work on like
That's on Sunday.
getting. I'm gonna work on becoming disabled.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
working. I put the mo in mobility.
Your birthday is on a Wednesday.
Yes, it is.
Find something and just like it's gonna be like
Yeah.
in Tropic Thunder. It's like how did you play a retarded person? I lived around a lot of retarded people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find something that won't allow me to do my job.
Where
And
the
I'm just
fuck do we
gonna-
get ice cream?
train for it.
Hey, if there's something for being clinically insane, I feel like I'm kind of tiptoeing on that barbed wire. If you catch my
People
drift.
train for the Olympics, and then they win the gold, and then they never
Yep.
work again, and
Who?
they just
Right.
fucking
Mhm.
anybody,
What are you
whatever,
talking-
whoever, this theoretical person.
You don't know what he's talking about.
Let's say I have a friend.
But what are you talking
I'm saying I'm gonna
about?
train. I'm gonna train to be disabled, but not actually be disabled. And just
Yeah.
pass
So you want
off.
to pull an Eric? You want
like,
to pull an
get-
Eric Cartman?
Yeah, get.
I
I'm not
mean-
gonna go to the fucking disabled Olympics. I just want to get paid to not work.
Yeah, that's much better.
What about mentally disabled?
Well,
That's what I-
we're all kind of there.
And no one batted an eye.
They do that sometimes.
Basement, those SSI checks is not be. They don't be hitting, bro.
Yeah, I know it's not good money.
It's
But
not.
what you have to do is you got to get on disability, and then I gotta just somehow find a way to have kids on disability, and then you add up the checks.
Where are you
Well-
going?
Don't care about the kids.
Your thing is
it all
way
works
the
out.
fuck over here.
I know.
I talked to this
Just now
woman.
you're-
I'm
I
writing
was
this down.
enraged that she didn't get
Yeah,
like her
'cause the only
fucking
way
money for her
through
kids,
back
and the
there
way she
is
talked
here.
about them was like so transactional. I'm like, man, you should not be a fucking parent.
Yeah. The robotic people are just.
No, it's like, where's my? She talked about her kids like they were paychecks.
I was about to say,
'Cause
I
that's what they are. To her,
I
but
I
whatever.
truthfully try not to. I mean, honestly, judge parenting styles of other people for the most part, in the sense
I
of like,
judge
hey,
everyone for everything.
yeah, I know you fucking do. I've seen the pictures that you send me. So, but and you know, I don't know people's situations. I try to give some people some leniency and benefit of the doubt, but it doesn't take away from my instinctual like, fuck that person.
I mean, I feel like you can't be judge free, or else you're not actually a human being. It's like built into us to fucking react and have opinions on situations in front
Now
of
what
us.
are you doing?
Oh, you
can
don't want to
be-
ask. You don't want to open up that can of worms with me.
You
I
can be
think-
very
I think having opinion is different from being judgmental.
yeah. You can like I don't know anybody's situation, so I'm never gonna hold that over them.
Right.
But I can be like, in the moment, this is not necessarily the right thing to do.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I get what you're getting at now. I thought you meant like
Oh,
overtime.
Maybe.
Whoop.
Maybe not.
There's something I'll never work again in my life because it's a scam.
Oh, overtime. So I'm like, listen, my brain's starting to really. How much is left? There's more.
Sure, he's talking about.
Oreos.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah. Oreo.
No, it seriously was the Oreos though.
oh,
Well,
Oh, yeah.
You ever made your own ice cream with your Oreo?
so,
I have not.
yeah, I have. Actually, I just saw a thing for.
Have you made your own Blizzard?
Yes, it's fucking tricky.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Blizzards. Like,
Ah,
don't get
fucking
me wrong,
weird
they're not
anime dog
bad or
shit.
anything, but they ain't like the best type of ice cream or anything.
You ever?
This peace mission isn't going so well, is it?
Isn't this where you died last time, Heather?
Yes. Yes. It
You ever
is.
eat yellow snow?
Hell no.
No.
I just drink piss and leave the snow out.
Leave, why cut out the middleman?
Recycle, reuse, reduce.
Ikiki.
Cool.
Did you ever see that stupid Vine?
No, I did not think of.
Fucking someone's recording it's a sign. It's like lettering on a sign of like an old business, and it says it's supposed to say reduce, reuse, recycle. So the first two words are fine, but the last one, like a couple of letters are missing. So it's like, but the voice that he does it in is so like epic, and it like reverberates. So it's like reduce, reuse, use, ikiki.
Wow, you crossed them all off.
Oh my god!
Some sort of heroic accountant running down a
You're actually
list. Teach me
smiling.
your ways.
Don't know about this one.
Only thing unscrewed around here is the head of that marauder you took down.
Honestly, anytime you go
Seen
back
moves
to
like
work,
that
it's
outside my
like
serial
I don't know if
killers.
I can do this. And then on like
You, on
the third or
other
fourth day
hand,
back,
you
it's like
were a
okay,
sight to behold.
now I know I can
I
do
had
this every day for the
hacking
rest of my
skills
life,
made
even
the
if I hate it.
greatest outlaw
I
ever
just
seen.
You fall into
No.
that badness zone.
the idea of starting my own business to get the hell out of this
That
industry
really
is
wants me back
is
on guard.
I've
increasing
been thinking
tenfold.
about things like that
But I'm not
because
going anywhere.
honestly,
This
I don't
is
mind.
where I belong.
I
Uh,
would work 60-hour weeks if I know I was going to
I-
benefit for it.
I know I've dipped my toe in this back and forth,
You
but I
serial
do
drama.
want to at least try to do more
I've been
behind the
thinking
scenes
about doing
organization
that.
of starting a
How cool
promotion.
if Lord Cavendish really is
It's
the master of
can't shake this itch.
Take my stuff and head on back, I suppose.
I'm just gonna become a pimp.
Grace is gonna be
Yeah.
glaring eyes
Ooh.
at me.
Can I be your first
That's
client?
look forward to.
I'm working on my
First
own
bitch.
business.
That's what I mean.
Terrifying.
It's the only thing about starting a business
It
is
should be a
No.
pimp.
I
Yeah.
insinuated
It should
myself
be?
into their company.
Yeah,
see?
Canadian pimp.
And they didn't seem
oh,
to
that'd
mind
be
one
good
bit.
work.
Pimp Daddy Basement.
hmm
I don't know. Provide a process
And you gotta wear-
to
PDD.
live life are mysterious
Wear a
and
bear
unpredictable.
coat. Wear a bear
Oh,
coat.
you mean around these guys? The Marauders
How
wouldn't hurt
sweet
me,
do you
they
like the
love me.
syrup?
I'm practically their queen. Yeah, must be my natural charisma.
Because I'll tell you what it's all about.
Edgewater.
Is that a pimp smacking? You're gonna bear paw someone.
Stealing some medicine to treat myself. I
Right.
heard some outlaws set up
They
camp
got
in the
beer for
botanical
your
gardens.
ass.
I decided to throw in with them, seeing as I always
So
wanted
the
to be an
backhand is
outlaw
the bear
myself.
claw.
Instead, what do I find?
Percentage.
But a
Oh.
bunch of former workers
I
camped
saw
out
a
around the
kind of
greenhouse.
somewhat comical SNL
Back
skit
to the camp, so
this
I
week.
stuck with her.
It was a bit where like there was a bunch of like EMTs and people at the top of a water slide, and the bit is that there was an old man on the top who had a heart attack and he died. So they call it, and they they do this fun little dance around. Like,
So they
all
throw
right,
his body down the
It-
water.
it's the awkward side. It's like, all right, we should probably bring him down now. And it's just there's the awkward quiet. It's like, yeah, we gotta probably,
Look at all those steps.
what they do is like that's 255 steps. It's a lot of fun. Like I love how they let shit like drawn out, and I think the acting wasn't that great, but I think in terms of the awkwardness of like, well, no, we're just gonna drink. Oh man, there's kids there though, Oh no, the kids, that might be traumatic. Yeah, that's actually a very good point.
It's a teaching
No.
moment.
And then she's like, "Stop!" And another one's like, "Stop!" They're like, "What? We didn't say anything. Did you say something? I didn't say anything. You were thinking it. Thinking what? Pushing him down the water slide. You think we should push him down the water slide? I think that's your idea. You said it."
See, the thing I like about that is you get to a scenario where if I was that fucking, the thought would cross my mind just to be like, I'm not carrying this full-grown dead man down 500 flights of stairs, and I'm just there's a fucking slide, man.
Yeah,
It's meant
it's-
for it.
It definitely feels like a Seinfeld or a Curb Your Enthusiasm kind of situation.
Yeah.
Like that one of those awkward
But
things.
you
It's
know
like,
it's
well,
wrong, but
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's the right decision.
yeah, it was. I thought it was very good.
They did that in the office when they was trying to get Stanley down the stairs. He was someone put a tranquilizer. He was asleep, and Stanley, he's a big guy.
I remember.
So
this.
Dwight and Michael put cardboard on the stairway. It scared it down.
I loved one clip I just saw recently from Office was Michael ate the family-sized chicken pot pie and he passed out.
Oh yes.
And then they're like, "Oh, we want to leave early," and so they make sure they set all the clocks and everything, and they actually fucking get away with it, which is great.
Those are stupid shit where he's like, I like to warm up my feet with a George Foreman grill. And he grills his fucking foot. Like a
And then he used that same grill to make them steak.
You do more talking to people than actually doing anything in this
She
game.
never talked
Yes.
to us again.
Apparently.
Sometimes that's the way games are, Jake.
The audio book.
Talking the game.
I mean, that's pretty
They
much
are
what this
Stars Friday.
is.
It's a talking simulator.
Rated E for everyone talks.
You know,
Sorry.
Really team for talk.
That's not
So-
good.
I was looking through some things, Hey,
Okay.
This conversation's already
Good night.
I'm intrigued, but it's kind of killing me. At the
It's a
same
wide fucking net there, sir.
good night. Good night. Good
the speed at which it was delivered. Oh, he's gone. And he's out of here.
Okay.
Oh,
That's a wide net. That's all I was
It's just the
saying.
way that he delivered the sentence. I was looking
Should
for
we-
some things.
I apologize if we upset Jay Pizzle. That was not the intention.
Care.
But I'm also counting down how long it's going to take for him to come back.
He may reemerge. You
That's
never
what I'm
know.
saying. I'm starting
Maybe
a pool.
Take some things with him.
Yeah. I don't know who's going to get the house, but
Going with Mo.
Probably.
no shit. Hey, kind of pseudo rando thought, because I'm pseudo rando high at the moment. I was scrolling through just random content absorption. Do you think if they do another Doctor Strange movie that Sam Raimi should do it again?
No, well, I don't
Uh,
care. Because honestly, like, the Multiverse of Madness was a terrible movie.
Yeah, it was a pretty. it was
I'm not going to
pretty
blame it
shallow.
solely on Sam Raimi. I don't mind his directing style, but it's
That's
so,
what I mean. Like if you had a better writer and had a better story, but it was Sam
had
Raimi
better
style.
everything. I still like Sam Raimi's also one of those guys that I don't like. What did he really add to that movie?
Not
A lot of eyeballs, literally, because he zoomed in on so many of them.
I feel like his style is better suited elsewhere.
Like
He's
I would.
okay. Sam Raimi is a guy, honestly, that I think is a B movie director
yes.
that
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
that kind of got escalated way beyond. He's honestly like a worse version of Quentin Tarantino. Because Tarantino, for the most part, Tarantino is like a B movie director.
Yeah. No, I
Like, Tarantino,
agree with that.
like the script and writing that Tarantino participates in is so much better, but like his movies feel B movie ish.
Yeah, I can see that.
With
No,
like an
and you're
A-list
right.
acting, and like stellar script.
For the record, I like both of them, so just not.
I
to-
do too. I do
yeah.
too. It's just I don't know. Like having. I prefer if they went and like just give. I don't know. I prefer honestly. Marvel can just eat my fucking dick.
I didn't know. No, I know. I just and the only reason I brought up that one specifically is because I think we're all in agreement. Fucking Taika Waititi, fucking get the fuck out. Like done. Like you're done. Move. Do no more. No more free reign for you, sir.
He's
and-
another guy that should be like in the indie scene.
I think if you gave him the right franchise, he could do well, but it has to be a very specific one. One that it can embrace the silliness factor and because like for all the crazy shit they did in Thor Love and Thunder, the biggest problem, and I don't want to speak for everybody here, please tell me if I'm wrong, if you feel otherwise, is that he kind of like he turned Thor's character upside down in the worst way possible. And they made him like basically a pansy.
Well,
honestly,
like a joke.
they've been fucked up Thor's character since the second Avengers.
But
Well, I mean-
Ragnarok was great.
well, they turned so they turned Thor's character around to be another
Hard.
quipping Marvel guy because they realized that Chris Hemsworth is actually pretty good comedic timing.
Yeah, but
What are you
the problem
into?
is that like his character up until that
Mysterious
point.
he was in the first two movies.
I know. Like
He's supposed to be serious. He's a god, and he's
Yeah,
stronger than every
yeah,
last
but-
one of them. But they made the whole
Okay, so
Marvel Avengers around Iron Man.
they made him an airhead.
let me ask you this: which Marvel character is actually serious?
Not the Hulk anymore. I would say Captain America is the serious one, or maybe
No,
Black
Sam
Widow.
Wilson's quips all the time.
None of them are worth the
serious.
shit.
Even like
At the
Captain
time, it was
America,
Black Widow probably.
Yeah, Black Widow.
Black Widow's probably the most serious. She's the one with the least fucking jokes.
Yeah,
That's just because she was the one that was the eye candy for the most part.
but then once the
Essentially,
IP started to be dished out there like fucking pretzel sticks to everybody.
now every single character that's come after that, they all have to be the
Yeah, they
effect I
always gotta
get,
say something witty or something.
they all
Right,
have to be Peter
but-
Parker Spider-Man.
Right.
Every single
well,
one of them. Like
yeah.
the original Peter Parker was the quips while he was fighting someone. It would be like, "Oh my god, life or death," and he'd say like some fucking stupid bullshit.
So
Even Bucky, they gave him like a one-liner here and there.
actually, yeah, but I was to say
Yeah.
Bucky was until they did Falcon Winter Soldier. But what I'm saying is that I think I think if you gave Taika Waititi the right franchise, it doesn't have to be in fucking
It's
Marvel.
just
It could be anything.
honestly, his best movies are Jojo Rabbit and What We Did in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Those are the movies that fit
Yeah.
him. Weird, off-the-wall ideas that need a
Yeah.
bit of humor, and it needs someone else working with him to tie him down to have like some thing that brings you back to the real world.
Yeah.
Other than that, keep him away from like franchise films. This is why I don't like the fact that he's fucking sucked into a Star Wars film. But
Oh, God, I
Star
forgot
Wars,
about
I
that.
have not a lot of hope for.
Speaking
I
of which,
I really wish
like to rip off.
I really wish it was in a better state than it is because it's a franchise that I really hold dear. Or
What's on the Has there been any major announcements as far as like?
well, they're
I'll be
airing
honest.
Skeleton Crew. JP, did you watch any of Skeleton Crew?
Sucks.
Yeah. All I saw was a little elephant, and I'm like,
Wait,
It
what'd you
has
say, JP? Was it good?
nothing- It has nothing to do with Star Wars. Nothing.
is
Oh,
it
great.
Is it Grogu 2.0
No.
selling elephants? Okay.
What, okay, so that makes me even less interested in it.
I
So
don't
is
even know
there?
what the premise is really for that one.
I don't either.
It's about 4 kids who get fucking end up on a fucking ship, and then they meet this fucking guy who's a fucking a smuggler,
A lot of fucks.
and he's like a swindler like
Mhm.
type guy. Because the first episode was a guy that these pirates showed up. So it started out good. It started out with them, a pirate, landing on a ship and then trying to smuggle or steal stuff out of a vault, probably money or credits or whatever the fuck they are.
Mhm.
And there was nothing in there. And then I lost interest after there nothing was in the vault.
The problem is it's like
shit.
the lead is an adult and the rest of the crew it's fucking kids.
Yes.
Yes, and then they have a
Not fucking
robot.
kids,
They
like
have a
actual
fucking droid. Well, I think the droid died, which made no fucking sense.
I'm sold.
It's so
I don't know. Star Wars.
the kids
is
think
like
the
fucking-
kids think he's a Jedi.
Mhm.
Star Wars is unfortunately like
So
circling around the drain here.
what I was gonna say was-
they need to just stop with the fucking series and just stick to the fucking movies.
what I was gonna
suck
say
at
was,
fucking
is there
movies.
anything announced for the future?
Yes, there's 3 movies.
Okay.
One movie
They have a
is
lot of
for
mods, actually.
no. The one movie is
Oh,
What?
Mandalorian and Grogu. Yeah, I forgot about that.
well, that's one, but
Yeah.
there's one for the Old Republic where the movie is about the beginning of the Jedi, which nobody knows that story,
oh boy.
which I'm okay with. But they just, I'm okay
I'm
with it.
nervous.
So this is what they got. They got the Mandalorian and Grogu coming up
Okay.
at some point. They've got Dave Filoni's New Republic era movie.
that is the one with Grogu and Mandalorian.
And forgive me.
Oh, they're
new-
saying
new-
they're two different things here. This is what they're saying.
No.
so forgive me. New Republic is that was before Vader, right?
Oh yeah, the
Okay.
Old Republic,
So it's
way before Vader. This is like Revan level shit. We're
Well,
talking.
this
about.
is saying that the announcement came during Star Wars Celebration, where 3 new movies were unveiled by Lucasfilm's head Kathleen Kennedy. Ahsoka is perhaps the central piece of these plans as it reintroduced Grand Admiral Thrawn. Oh, yeah, this might be a bit old then. Let me look.
So the Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Grogu are going to be one movie.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no
That's
trilogy.
well,
at any point.
that's not just what the movie's gonna be. That's going to be the central characters. Then there's an Old Republic one where it's the Jedi become Jedi. It's the beginning of the Jedi, I think is what it's called.
So they announced a bunch of things. They canceled.
And
a
the
bunch,
final
but this is the
movie,
list.
and the final movie is Rey starts teaching the new Jedi. That's the third movie.
Thank you for that one.
I don't teach nobody nothing.
We got Star Wars Andor season 2.
You don't have
Star
boobs.
Wars
You don't have
Visions?
boobs, Rayshawn.
Neither does she really. Star Wars Visions season 3. Jon Favreau's The Mandalorian and Grogu. Star Wars Ahsoka season 2. Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie, which is in development apparently. James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi movie, which is in development. Dave Filoni's Mandoverse New Republic movie in development. Charmin Ubay Chinoy's New Jedi Order movie in development. Simon Kinberg's Star Wars trilogy in development. Rogue Squadron movie, they don't know if it's going to exist. Mandalorian season 4, but they don't know if season 4
They don't.
of that
I don't think they're doing it.
or the Book of Boba Fett season 2 will exist.
I don't
A
think the
Lando
Book of
movie.
Boba Fett. I think the Book of Boba Fett was a one-off.
The Star Wars Lando movie, status unknown.
Jesus Christ.
Star Wars Rangers of the New Republic TV series presumed cancel. Ryan Johnson's Star Wars trilogy presumed canceled. Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie canceled. David Benioff and D.B. Weiss Star Wars movie canceled. So they still have like 6 or 7 things in the pipe.
God damn.
But they need to get. It's just like Marvel, man. They need to hit. They need to hit something out of the park. Realign something that's like big, like a movie, not a series.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, they just need to do. They need to do movies, not series. Because I don't care.
Mando
about
and Grogu.
movies. Huh?
I just don't care about that whole fucking shit at all anymore.
The Grogu Mando story, I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
They ruined it.
I like the first 2 seasons. I couldn't even watch
The third season was okay, but then they should have.
Even the second season started to show signs of problems.
Running
for
out
me.
of ideas, yeah.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna have filler in a show that's only 6 episodes or 8 episodes."
Rayshawn's getting lit up by his wife.
I know. I thought you loved Star Wars, Rashawn.
Yes,
Trying to see if that helps. Hey, dead bodies.
Yeah, I don't. So what I was gonna say, because I had to think about what I was gonna say. I'm starting to sour on wrestling. Like big
In
time.
general?
Huh?
In general, yeah.
In general.
general?
Yeah.
Welcome to the club, bud.
So the thing
Welcome to
is,
the party, pal. No,
I looked at the AEW World at World's End. Don't care.
You're not gonna.
Every
okay, first of
every
all,
single match except for one was a heel win, just like the
I-
last pay-per-view.
I don't know why you're even watching it. To be honest.
I didn't watch it. I
No,
just
like
looked at the
AEW in
results, and then I'm starting. I told you he's getting lit up by his wife.
I just love that every time he does this, he forgets to mute his mic.
I
It's a good mic system there. So,
the I just want to hear this conversation.
I don't even know what they're saying. It's just words.
I don't either. Well, that's basement. Like, it's just words. That's what I'm fucking saying.
Yeah,
you
but
ass.
it's like, yeah, but I can't fucking understand the words they're saying.
That's better than that's just words.
The bloodline story is really starting to bore the shit out of me.
It got to be done by the 6th. It has to be done by the 6th.
It's
You
not.
gotta
They're
turn
going
into
to.
a person that
Connor,
just
you
watches
know they're going to extend it to WrestleMania. You know they're going
If
to.
they don't have The Rock.
I honestly feel like the best
I
thing
think
Triple
they are
H's
going to have The
storytelling-
Rock.
Triple H's storytelling has lended itself to me. Somebody
Hey,
that just
buddy.
watched that just watches the pay-per-views because it takes that long for anything to happen.
Yeah.
I have zero interest in AEW at all, and
I'm
realistically,
done with AEW.
WWE is the only thing that's really getting my goat because they're actually doing things right and stuff's
I'm
enjoyable.
starting to think they're just.
I'm not watching religiously, obviously. I'm watching bits and pieces.
There's a huge, in my eyes, there is a huge difference between long-term storytelling and just dragging a story on.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what Triple H
Well,
is doing.
sometimes they go hand in hand.
Sometimes both can happen at the same time. To be honest,
what they did with the Bloodline was good, and finally, Cody finishing his story, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of.
I just don't. The Cody thing and the Kevin Owens thing, I don't care.
Okay.
Because Kevin Owens is not winning the title.
Right.
The women's division is just, it's like, it's obvious what they're doing. If you don't know who took out Jade Cargill, you're a fucking idiot.
The car.
So who? Just so I can make sure I record this.
Bianca Belair.
Okay.
If it's not Bianca Belair, then what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, this is a problem. You can't have both those opinions. You can't have it's predictable, but if it's not predictable, then what do they do?
No, that is it's really not an opinion because it's so obvious what they're fucking doing.
Which is what?
If you can't see it, Connor, I don't know what to tell you.
No, what I'm trying to do is that's a somewhat blanket statement.
It is Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair is the one that took out Jade Cargill.
Okay.
If they don't go that route with that, it's a failure.
The way I would book it is I would book it so all the stars align so that it would seem like it's her, but it doesn't end up being her. And Jade Cargill gets to the point where she blames it on her anyway. And then she ignites the rivalry between them, thinking it's her, but ends up not being her. There's just a slight little bit of swerve in that. Yeah, like, what else are you gonna do with it?
That's just terrible.
How is okay? Well, what would you do with it?
Just reveal it's Bianca and get it over with. Because it's not going anywhere. It's not.
Walks out.
The
It
whole
sounds like you want that Rick and Morty 2-minute mystery. Here's the knife. It's me. I did.
Okay.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool.
Now, do you think that's also partially because it's part of women's wrestling that it's really tough to get a pop with sometimes?
Yes.
I hate this leprechaun guy.
Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's Choice.
Your coat makes me uncomfortable, sir.
I have made my share of mistakes, but I have done my.
That's honestly, I can't. The thing is, I can't
take a
watch
break and then just come back to Mania.
Do what we do. Do what I do at least. Fucking give it a break. Watch the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I have been holding this town together with both hands.
Uh-huh.
I feel like Wendy likes watching it because you watch it.
Yeah, yeah. I think I've started to notice what's called osmosis effect.
Look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home. I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic. The very notion is just grotesque. A raw vegetable? Why don't you just ask me to go chew the bark off of a tree?
Honestly, I usually watch, with the exception of the pay-per-views, I'll usually just get clips from Twitter or YouTube.
That's what I pretty much do. I
Yeah.
scroll through Twitter. I get the idea of what's happening, and then just through osmosis of us talking, I'll understand what's going on.
Which honestly is a great move by WWE to really be more proactive on that kind of stuff, because I remember for a while, you wouldn't see stuff hit the internet as fast, and now it's almost instantaneous. So that way, you don't miss out on any action.
had to improvise to meet quotas. We've added wood chips.
I'm
And
telling you,
you
that
can,
Vault
though.
channel is fucking mint. It is good shit right
This is the
now.
good thing. It's like we can just watch old school wrestling.
Yo,
Fine. I mean, it's gonna be shit that most, or not all of us, but most of us have seen before.
Right around the time the
Sometimes
first wave of plagues hit the town.
that's better.
Now listen, I do not know what pretty rhetoric Adelaide has fed you, but plagues are a simple fact of life.
what?
The
What?
thing is, okay,
Uh-oh.
so of the wrestling that we watched together, I found the same problem with it. You're probably finding with Triple H's long-term booking.
Yeah,
The-
chafing.
It's just the same. It's the same thing over and over and over. It's same formula. It's formulaic to a point, to a fault.
Exactly.
And I think Triple H, like having everything last longer than it needs to, is that as well.
What a remarkably efficient solution. Recycling
I don't have
space
the
was
nostalgia
properly
factor
done.
of having watched it before or knowing the
I was
wrestlers.
wondering about those missing bodies in Silas's cemetery. You're right. I am being obstinate. If the best thing I can do for this town is to stand down, then stand down I shall. If Adelaide's found a way to
A lot of the new guys are
and
good at
cure
cutting promos too. It's just
and she deserves this office more.
I
than
don't know. I think
won't
the biggest
stand
problem with them, and I kind of with you on this one, JP, is like
Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me.
I think you did the rightest thing you could sending the power back to Edgewater. A lot of people would have suffered otherwise. People I care for. Even if they ain't care much for me.
but this is what happens when you get fucking 12 hours of programming a week.
The thing is that their programming has evolved with the times in terms of what they were trying to portray. Back before then, it was more serialized, whereas more like it was almost like a slideshow presentation in the sense of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it kind of became a little more formulaic and then morphed into like more of a fluid show. It was more like reality based, etc.
I would have loved. I would have.
Well, I think that's what they were trying to do with Bronson Reed, where it was a situation where, hey, let's freshen things up a little bit. It'll give Seth something to do to kind of get him like stall
But
until we get back to Punk,
You
and
can't
also gives
just-
Reed the Rebel a little bit.
You can't just throw somebody that nobody knows anything about into a match. Like there has to be some sort of like reason for anybody to watch it, right?
Even if it's minuscule.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Right.
Look at that. The snake's come back. I never thought I'd see the day that Reed
Yep.
Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater.
But you're saying lower mid cards, so like someone like on like our truth level.
And carry on with our lives as best we may. You're vexing to me, you know?
So like right now, if we were to make a
Hindering us with one
comparison,
hand, helping us with the other. Here,
so like right now in
maybe
comparison,
that's
say
the
like
It's a ransom. you understand.
Like
not a word.
Andrade.
Yeah, or a bobblehead.
Yeah,
You telling
but I
me
mean
you
Andrade
really
right
wants
now.
to put me in charge of Edgewater?
Okay.
Stranger, you
Okay.
are some kind of
Yep.
twisted. I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies.
I
I
hate
need
you
some time
for
to gather
taking
my personal
my
thoughts.
actual.
Long
I
walk
just
back
booked
to
this
Edgewater.
today
I can stay
for
here
for our
with
Raw. You son of a bitch.
Simpsons did it. Yeah. They gallop. Mm-hmm. Right.
So you're saying more promo, less wrestling?
No. What he's saying is,
Well,
and
inevitably it would be less wrestling because the guy said the other guy wrestled for 30 seconds at a
I
time.
think what JP is saying is, and JP, you can tell me if I'm wrong on this one, is that it was a simplistic setup, a natural setup, and things naturally progressed in the way where you escalated and built it to a bigger crescendo.
You can't do that with 12 hours of wrestling.
12 hours.
8 hours of wrestling. So NXT,
Oh.
SmackDown, Raw.
Oh. Wait,
With
that
that
would
kind of
be.
roster.
Hold on.
I mean,
8.
you
Jesus, I
could
can't do
build
it
a
for you.
story. You could build a story without wrestling. Then we just had a few.
Okay, so there's a reason wrestling progressed. Because
Yep.
entertainment progressed. If you tried to do what you're
Mhm.
intending to do, you'd probably lose viewership. I'm just saying that. I'm not saying that the product would be worse, but you would lose viewership.
I think what.
Well, I think you're too ingrained in the Twitter versus wrestling. You got to get away from that. That's
Well,
horrible.
ironically, I was about to say was. Since the lawsuit, I can't say anything anymore.
You're getting to where I was, where I was talking to people about it, and then I saw like the fucking toxicity. Anytime I fucking went on something and said something, I get like 1 million fucking followers just shit on you. It's just idiot. It's just idiot people that like the fucking worst aspects of wrestling, that are like putting it on a pedestal and saying it's more important than what wrestling should be.
Doggies. Shit, lot of doggies.
But
Die,
yeah,
doggy,
I don't
die.
know, man. Wrestling for me, I'm happy where I am. My relationship with wrestling is working perfectly fine.
Same.
What?
I still want to start my own though.
I think it's a very difficult
Oh,
industry to break into.
oh, it is.
That is
oh
like
yeah.
where I know the passion is there for you, but
I know.
that's a
I
tough
know.
one.
I know. I have a business plan already scripted. And I'm gonna go talk to my bank next couple of weeks
Fast
about
forward
options.
like 6 years, all of a sudden he's got a fucking Jufro, and he's coke all over his nose.
Like Mr. Satan.
We're gonna go more extreme.
Like fucking Hercules Satan.
Someone call
Yeah.
Tony Khan. Okay, do you think that this era of wrestling is trying to tell too many stories?
There's too much wrestling and less stories. Like too few that have a story.
So I think like when it comes down to it, the way I look at it is Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens should have been a 1 month storyline and done. I don't think it should
Yes.
have continued past that. It
Yep.
doesn't need to continue past that. Get us something fresh.
I would be fine with
Like-
2 just to do a gimmick blow off.
or something. Like, I mean, you could do. That's what they're doing technically, and
this
you
is
can
like
get away
4
with
months.
it. Well, yeah. The problem is, you don't need
of
8
yabbling.
stories that are all
When I was at
fucking
Edgewater,
year-long
they
stories.
trained me to
You
fly
need
on a
1
real
to 2
ship.
year-long stories. You
Was
need
I
a couple
real injured?
month stories, and the majority of your stories should be a month
I'm the
or
oldest
no
in the
story
clan
at
of
all,
Edgewater's
and it's
gods.
just they're fighting each other. Whatever, who
Every
cares?
time I think of going back, I get this
But
sinking feeling.
I don't disagree. I think obviously this is what Triple H's
it's gonna
first
be like a
year.
refinement process.
Yeah, so I think things will be fine tuned. I hope.
The one thing I see with Triple H is there's a lot more care given
Mr.
to
Thompson found out.
the wrestling side of
I
things
wanna ask you
because
But
he was a
You can say
wrestler.
no.
No, when I say that, I mean like
He's
care
sucking them too
for
hard.
the actual people working
know my
for
G
him,
valves,
which I
my
think is a
catalyzers,
huge
and I can keep your
bonus.
ship
Like,
singing.
we're not gonna work you
And if
fucking
you ever
Christmas
need a
Day
pair
and
of
all this
eyes
fucking
watching your
bullshit.
back,
You know, take
but
the
al-
breaks that you need.
But
Rotate
also the
people in kayfabe injuries. I love kayfabe injuries. Bring them back, and he has. So
Yeah, I've
I
been
also
thinking
I
about
also
that. Edgewater was on the verge of collapse before you showed up. You sent them power, and now the town might see another season. And you talked Mr.
I don't know
Lieutenant into
what the
coming back
injury.
to town.
I'm not a
Maybe
fucking
one
doctor,
day
so I know
Edgewater
you
will
told
have
us what the
power
injury was, but it was like some his
You're not
spine was
exactly a
shattered.
stranger anymore.
it's a level of
There's
bullshit.
some kindness hereabouts. I wouldn't mind following somebody like that.
Oh, and dropped
Yeah.
them.
So this is the way I look at it. If you're gonna kayfabe an injury, and they did, and I think
Yeah.
what they're doing is like, oh,
I
he's so
really do.
strong, he can come back, and just like
My
Rhea
whole
Ripley,
life's been
oh, she's so strong, she
small.
can come back, she's done with it. It's like
I realized
if
that
you're
when
gonna
you walk into
kayfabe an
town,
injury, give the right
I could see the
timeline.
same faces
There's
every
no,
day,
you
the
don't have
same
to make these
sky,
people look
same
superhuman.
stars.
Nobody watching this,
Then I
well,
saw the ship.
75% of people
Gorgeous,
watching
stately
this
ladies
isn't
with
heart
eyes turned
retarded.
skyward, and
Hi.
I made up my mind to come along with you.
Guess which side I'm on.
Yes. I mean, thanks.
No.
You won't
Right.
replace me.
Correct.
Captain. I can call you Captain now. I got a captain.
The other thing too is you don't want to do too many kayfabe injuries a year because real injuries will happen.
I applaud your willingness
Yeah.
to invest your time in the local community.
He's done back to back with Rhea Ripley
So can I
and Cody
take your
Rhodes.
Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator? Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in
I am
defense
curious.
against
I guess I'm more so
catastrophic
willing to ride this out to at least Mania,
Captain Marvel.
and that oh my god, flashbacks. I'm willing to ride it out until WrestleMania 41 because I am genuinely curious how it's gonna be molded and shaped, and I am willing to like kind of
Hey,
keep
man.
on a little bit beyond just because I
gave
am.
AEW fucking years to get right, and then it came to that point where it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
You want Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes to feud to Mania?
No.
That won't happen.
No.
The feud
Yeah,
will end at
it's not
Rumble.
it's not going to.
Oh,
If it doesn't end at
It's
Rumble, then
it's done at
truly
Rumble.
a
It's got to be done
negative.
at Rumble.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna have a fucking great match. But
it's
it's
also
honestly,
like,
I
done at Rumble.
want Kevin Owens to win at the Rumble. I know he's not, but like
I
based on
wouldn't
the
be against
injury,
it because what are you gonna do with Cody Rhodes?
you
Who
can't
is
tell
Cody
us
Rhodes
it has.
fighting at WrestleMania? Drew McIntyre.
This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Is it Captain Marvel?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm willing to wait a little bit longer because I want to see how certain things play out.
But you can't tell us that he's injured like that, and
Yeah, hey, listen. Does it
and
mean
he's in
this
a
next
ladder
year?
match. He's booked in a ladder match. Come on.
I don't like the fact that he was injured and like a week later, guess what, guys?
While
My spine
I'll
refused.
okay, well I definitely agree with all of that. I also will just again kind of just say there's been a lot worse situations
Yeah.
creatively in the
And
past.
remember the Raws where it was the exact same Raw for like 10 months?
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, that is. I mean, you kind of have to accept that it's not going to be perfect.
Kids these
And
days don't appreciate what we went through.
it used to be like a 3. Like honestly, I never saw for a while there for Vince McMahon era. A 5 out of 10 was the best you're going to get. It was really bad. Now,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, things have gone up to me. I'm like, Triple H is pretty much consistently a 6.5. which is better. But with like the I look at the fact that the chance to be so much better, I can see it. Where I couldn't see it with Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was just bearing fucking people, and if you didn't like, oh, we're gonna showcase Roman Reigns and try to show him as like the hero of the company. Oh, people boo him for like 3 years straight. Like, get the fucking message, you fucking penciled.
Die, Roman, die. Yeah, and I think that's really what it is that like with Triple H doing in the NXT the black and gold brand, it gave us hope for the future of like, wait, there is a light at the end of the tunnel if we could just all hang on.
No matter what, I prefer this to what we had. So if you didn't quit during Vince McMahon, you ain't gonna quit during Triple H at this point.
Yeah.
Just stop watching AEW. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah, I don't.
Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies.
I mean,
Like-
That's right.
I mean
I
that
could have a
Darby
nice sandwich, or I could eat my own shit for dinner.
that Darby Allin Will Ospreay match just caught my eye on Twitter. That's where I shared it with you guys, and honestly, that was really a lot of
That
fun.
wasn't
but
the thing is that
other than that,
they can
that's
put on
that's
a
all.
decent wrestling match.
Yeah.
Most of the time, 50% of the time. But then I saw the Kazuchika Okada and Ricochet, and he's just like fucking bouncing off different sides of the ropes. I'm like, oh my god, not anymore.
Speaking of the dubs,
Or standing shoulder to shoulder with
I don't even know who that is.
they just did,
Go on. I'm Ludwig Miller, Associate Security Officer for Transportation.
do it,
Officially,
do it.
unofficially, strictly between.
I'm tired of seeing Liv Morgan with Rhea Ripley.
Well, this is the biggest problem, the biggest complaint, and the most like complaint I would take seriously for WWE. That type of like, we're gonna, you gotta showcase these fucking guys all the time. Like I said with you guys, I think I've seen Liv Morgan. I'm only watching pay-per-views. I've seen Liv Morgan wrestle more than anybody else on the fucking roster. Her and Cody Rhodes for some reason, and that's it.
Yeah,
They're wrestling every fucking pay-per-view. Every single fucking pay-per-view, and I'm like, Jesus, man, just get this fucking shit out of here. There's so many better
Just
wrestlers.
run them into the ground until they get injured, and then they're like, oh, okay, take some time off.
But I think, like, from a business perspective, like how realistic is it to move on fast and keep business momentum? Because for me, I'm like, as a viewer, I'd like to not see Liv Morgan anymore. However, I'm not just the only viewer, and the whole Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley thing is selling tickets and selling shit. So you're gonna see it, regardless if you want to or not.
Just like the Bloodline. Just like the Bloodline sister story.
I will say for sure, Bloodline is one of those things that's gone on way too long.
Oh yeah.
Judgment Day was a group for way too long.
Yes.
They need to wrap that up too. They need to wrap that up and just
like
kill it.
3 or 4 iterations of it.
Like get us to Mania and then kill both of them.
Bring
I would
in
prefer
JP
sooner,
Barrett,
but
Samoa Joe.
Yep.
Make
Samoa
him
Joe.
the new head of the Bloodline. And then you bring in Rick Steiner or Scott Steiner's son.
And they bring in Wesley Snipes as Blade because he's a vampire and he loves the bloodline.
He never ages. The only thing he
Some motherfuckers try to always skate skate uphill. I can't
The
do the
only thing
damn
he-
quote.
the only thing he can't evade is taxes, which unfortunately he did evade and went to jail.
But
I don't know, man.
I'm still
But-
willing to wait it out a little bit more because
I've come to the point where the only wrestling I'll realistically watch or pay attention to is WWE. I gave AEW all the time in the fucking world to intrigue me, but like, and they weren't bad. The first year, AEW wasn't horrible, and they slowly went away from everything they said they were gonna do, and just became this fucking wannabe ECW when things started to look a bit shaky. and then they want to be WCW, and now I don't know what the fuck they want to be.
I saw all that shit happening since day one.
Well, so did JP.
Speaking of
But
AEW,
we were also at a point. We were also at a point. Sorry, Connor. We were also at a point where Vince McMahon was running WWE, and shit wasn't looking too good there either.
yeah,
So it was
was,
a much different atmosphere.
I can't remember who said it. Actually, it might have been Jim Cornette, where when all the Vince stuff was starting to happen, they said, "Hey, I'm curious how this is going to affect AEW." And the person's they're upset. Is like, "Oh, you mean it's going to increase AEW's product?" And he's like, "No." Because he goes, I think if Vince is gone, that means people are going to shift and the creative's going to change and the tide's going to swing back in WWE's favor. How are you going to combat now that when WWE is good again?
But barring everybody in WWE getting killed, I don't see AEW doing anything. AEW is going to slowly descend into TNA and potentially out of existence.
Speaking of AEW, apparently there was some.
I wouldn't say never not, because they could get absorbed by some other company, and they could be rebranded, is what I'm going to say.
Well, I mean,
if you're not making money eventually, don't look at the operating costs for AEW though. You can only operate in the red for so long, no matter how much money you have.
And Warner Brothers is a terrible investor.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure people said the same thing about WCW. I'm sure people said the same thing about WCW though, and now it's gone. That was a place with unlimited money. Well, he was also not really. He was a fan of money, not wrestling.
Feast your eyes, soldier. This here is a genuine Spacer's Choice.
Never say never, man. Wrestling companies will come and go. They might last for a long time, but
which is what I want to try and do too. Sounds like a great motivational speech to do to launch a promotion.
I mean, Tony Khan might just fucking Dixie Carter his way into oblivion. I think that's what's going to happen.
I don't have a lot of hope for the long term.
I have zero hope for the long term.
This is what I was going to say. I read an article. I read a headline, which again, this could be complete and total bullshit. But apparently, Tony Khan either said or insinuated that one of the reasons he got such a good media rights deal with Time Warner this time around was mainly due to, or one of the contributing factors was showing the CM Punk footage behind the scenes with Jack Perry, that whole bullshit situation.
Boss said no on account of my gross incompetence with all matters related to security. I need you to get
I think he makes less money.
Not exactly a brain. Anatomically speaking, what we're looking for is a logic module.
Yeah, didn't they
Don't tell anyone, all right? I've got a contact, a real expert in the inner workings of the automaton. We are gonna rip those mechanical secrets right out of their circuits.
Now, I don't know if that headline is true or not. So just to be very, because I didn't remember clicking the article or anything, but if it is true, I'd say shame on both of them, JP. To be honest with you, shame on Turner for being idiots enough to, if that's the actual case, and also shame on fucking Tony, because like that's just gonna shoot himself in the foot.
You're gonna have to find an intact model somehow.
I mean, I'm putting that lightly.
I don't reckon so. I work with gears and pistons and such. Stuff you can put hands to. Computers and mechanical brains are outside my ken.
You know, she names them.
I don't know if somebody just said it earlier,
No,
and
man,
forgive me
it's
because
not gonna happen.
I'm fading in and out. I was gonna say it enables bad behavior. Like it enables like, oh hey, this thing you did where you aired actual dirty laundry of something and try to essentially smear a former
Every decision
employee.
has been bad. Every single fucking
We're
decision.
gonna reward you with that. It's like that's fucking terrible.
AEW is fucking in the death spiral, man.
So to your point, Jay, or to the argument earlier, could AEW fold under other circumstances? I know you said like Tony Khan has like billions of money.
It
He's gonna
doesn't
keep
matter because you can't.
I was gonna say I think that depending on how things play out, there could be other outside external forces or contributing factors that could force him to do that. Right now, you're right. I think right now
He doesn't have infinite money. And the operating cost for AEW is not low. So at some point in time, that operating cost is going to have to come down because anybody that wants to highlight them or look at them, if the viewership's not there, no matter if he's pumping fucking $500 million a year into this thing, it doesn't matter if it's not making it back. If the viewership isn't there, operating costs will have to go lower, which means the top stars won't be intrigued to go there because they ain't going to get the pay. It's an inevitability for it to become a lower tier wrestling company.
I think the TNA comparison is relatively accurate because it was kind of the same idea, ish. Mm-hmm. Agreed, and I like the way TNA has been lately in terms of their like growth and stuff. I don't like the idea of them getting rid of Scott D'Amore. I think that was a very fucking stupid idea. But other than that, they've been doing.
As long as AEW is attached to Tony Khan, it's not going to go well.
Agreed.
Like to the extent that they are now, where he's like the fucking Vince McMahon of that company.
I shudder to think I was gonna say the only way it could be saved. I was thinking of one I was gonna say a very crazy thing in the sense of like, oh, the only person I could think that they could take over the company from a business perspective and maybe duo with it would be Bischoff, and that's a big maybe.
I think that's beyond him at this point.
I know. I know. I know.
Done with that. But you never know. Like the thing is, too, like sometimes talent, and I'm not just saying wrestling talent, just talent comes out of nowhere. So if someone works their way up through AEW as Tony Khan tries to hold it all together, you might end up with some sort of fucking wrestling genius that just shows up. So you can never say never, but money is not infinite, and eventually
my
company.
My phone number is available if anybody wants to, hit me up on the. I'm on almost all social media platforms. So, wow, that burp! I think I lost a pound. Just
you never know, but I mean the signs that I've seen point to eventual bankruptcy. Because they're not willing to put. They might not. Tony Khan might not be bankrupt, but it comes to a point where it's like, do I want to retire with $1 billion or 500 million?
And it's going to be a race to sell the company.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to come down to that. I think TNT is just going to like try to buy them out or whatever.
I
still think the TNA comparison is correct. Where it's gonna not flatline, but it's gonna have a very marginal decline.
If AEW wants to be, the future of wrestling is either work with the Fed or don't. Unfortunately,
for life.
The way I look at it is like. WWE is going to spread out. They've already showcased that they're going all over the world with everything. Triple H already has experience with NXT popping up in different countries.
They're turning it into McDonald's.
Yeah. So it's like, do you want to be the mom and pop store that sells bad burgers? Or do you want to join the chain restaurant that sells shit that anybody can eat?
Mm-hmm. Worldwide exposure, more opportunity to be seen on a bigger platform.
The biggest mistake for AEW, and I think we all said it from the beginning, was their over willingness to poke the bear with WWE. Like they just couldn't stop. Everything they did in that first 2 years was like, we're different than them, better than them. We're the new WWE. And then everything that followed was like, well, we might not even be as good as AEW.
The problem is that I can justify the behavior off of one major misstep, is the fact that in their eyes, they're catering to their audience, right? And think of it this way: AEW's audience was and is that niche, like,
but how stupid are you?
Pseudo ROH kind of, you know what I mean?
How stupid are you? It'd be like, oh, I'm gonna create my own bank, but like the biggest bank in the country is gonna be like, yes, we will go to fisticuffs with you. No, we don't give a shit about you. Say whatever you want. Prove it. AEW is too busy talking and not proving.
Agreed.
And now fuck them. That's all I'm gonna say. I can't watch them. Never will.
Yeah, I mean, I did see that Edge came back, I think, at World's End, right? And
50-year-olds returned, and fucking top
That's
dollar.
That's another reason why they fail into.
I would say, you know what? Edge is just having fun, and have fun. Have a blast.
I don't blame any of the wrestlers, because the wrestlers, at the end of the day, what controls them is the paycheck.
Honestly, there's a few talent that I wish goes back to WWE, or would love to have them back in WWE.
Top dollar.
Top dollar.
Honestly, FTR I would love to see back in WWE, but
I don't think it's never gonna happen.
Yeah, I think the more and more I see their behaviors, I'm like,
I'm also okay with that. They were fine.
Yeah,
I enjoyed them in NXT. I don't think they're ever gonna do something better than they did in NXT.
But a lot of people that left WWE left because of how Vince was running things.
I mean, FTR. I think a lot of people. The problem is NXT inflated a lot of people's like egos and their abilities, and thought like, when I'm going to go to the next place, I'm going to be just as important as I was here. FTR isn't the easiest sell on the main roster.
Agreed. I'm just saying it's a personal preference, but I think Ricky Starks needs to get the fuck out of there too. But yeah, same with Phoenix. I don't know. I don't see.
It's funny for a company.
Ember Moon needs to get out of there too.
Ember Moon is like I liked her, but they did nothing weird.
I'm taking.
Even in NXT,
I don't know. Respectfully, I'm take her or leave her. Like I'm very indifferent. Like I think she's a good wrestler. I'm not saying she isn't, but
she was injury prone, and every time they pushed her, nothing could have worked.
Yeah.
It never worked. Though I do like her enough as a wrestler, I think her promo skills are not good.
Agreed. But yeah, I don't see much long term going with it. I mean,
I'll tell you, when it comes down to it, wrestlers will go with the company that's willing to pay them the most. And guys like Ambrose, who aren't worth the money they're getting paid, will have to get that reality check.
Well, once the reality check comes and they go to renegotiate it and they find out they can't do it for a deal, they're going to start to leave. It's exactly what happened
because in some cases these guys, WWE ain't going to take them fucking back. Ambrose, I could see having the last year or two of his career at WWE just to be like, you remember me?
I'm not saying they will have any other choice, but I'm just saying as a majority of them who are looking to either jump ship to WWE or I don't know what Japan's paying, but
I think Japan is no longer the wrestling holy land it was after it got fucking decimated.
That's what I mean. So I know there might be a bunch of major departures.
It will happen. All right, JP. Have a good night.
J Pizzles.
Yeah, it's gonna be. We'll see what happens, right? But I'm pretty sure, if I had to guess today, I would be able to predict the future with 70% accuracy for AEW.
I can see the future,
but you never fully know. On another note, they are rebooting the Jurassic Park franchise again.
Why?
Okay, so the first 2 I actually liked. The third one I can watch. It's not as bad as I thought it was, but it's the worst of the 3. Alan. That's probably the best scene in the whole fucking movie.
It really is.
But other than that, all of the new movies were just corporate slop. They are rebooting it with Scarlett Johansson.
Okay.
That's the only person I know that's in it. But apparently, they're going to try to go back to the roots of the first one. I'm like, you didn't give us any time since the last pile of shit came out.
I was gonna say, I don't. The other like absence makes the heart grow fonder kind of situation. Like at least a couple of other franchises.
This is
like
why I hope the Batman was a one and done.
And they pushed it back another year.
Yeah, I saw. It's like, what was the reason you pushed it back? We don't have a script. Shouldn't that be the first thing you fucking have before you announce the movie?
I couldn't even see shit in that movie. It was so dark.
That movie for me, it's weird because I think that's the most divisive movie I've seen. Where I was on the side where I was like, "This movie is fucking ass." I mean, there was good things in it. After I watched it, I'm like, yeah, Colin Farrell as the Penguin, sign me up, loved it. Everything else, I don't
take
know.
or leave it.
You got fucking Twilight Batman. He's a good actor, but he did no acting. It was just emo face the entire movie.
I love the aesthetics of the world and the way they portray things.
The time frame.
Yes,
Cool.
that was a nice little fun little differentiation.
It was like a hair away from being great until it got silly for me.
And
then the third act just killed the movie.
I was gonna say, but as far as the presentation of it, it was off.
Like what confused me is like, okay, so we're gonna get into Batman while he's already Batman. We're not gonna do the storyline of how he became Batman, which is the trend nowadays.
I also
applaud
I also applaud the Riddler too.
I do not. I really like the
sorry.
actor.
Let me go back on that. The concept on paper for the Riddler of this is a great one, but the execution was
okay. So it was
terrible.
good. It was good until the third act where he becomes comedic.
I know, and it bums me out because Riddler is actually my favorite Batman villain.
It's not only that he became comedic; he became the opposite of his character.
I know.
Other than that, the only thing that pissed me off is like,
get rid of a bomb.
This is young Batman when he doesn't know how to be the suave fucking Bruce Wayne, and he's all about like just emo and killing people. This man took a bomb to the face for some stupid reason, which I never understood. The guns don't even harm him. It's like, are you grounded in reality or not? Like the whole idea, and the one thing I liked from The Dark Knight was like they were constantly improving his suit and finding like problems with where he could be vulnerable, right? This suit, he took fucking a whole magazine of a machine gun to the chest. And it's like, why wouldn't they shoot him in the fucking chin? For fuck's sakes. Well, no, wait, never mind. He took a bomb to the chin. He took a bomb to the chin, and it didn't matter. Like the portrayal of how the actual Batman was in that was not good. And then when fucking Joker started singing "Suave Maria," and fucking was like an online insult. I'm like, okay, what are they going with here?
Yeah.
Gotta look into getting us a uniform.
Can't wait to watch number 2.
This is it then. The key to humanity's victory over the mechanical hordes.
Honestly, the Batman and Joker should have never went beyond the single film.
Agreed.
Did you ever watch Joker Folie à Deux?
I did watch Joker Folie à Deux.
So, what do you think about that? Because you were the person that was like, I've heard bad things, but I feel like I need to give it, a watch.
I think, to be very fair, swing and a miss. It was.
Did they even swing?
It was not good at all.
It did not.
My favorite scene was when Joker got gang raped.
I could understand. I mean, I applaud them for trying something fucking out of the box, but it did not It didn't.
I
It
don't.
didn't.
I
It
don't.
didn't.
I
It
fucking
didn't. It didn't. It didn't
I
translate
do
well.
not applaud them for taking a fucking gridded rated R take on a mentally fucking disturbed guy, and the next step is we're gonna make a musical.
They kind of
That
set it on
is
fire. Yeah,
that is like
it's not good.
I'm ready to kill my baby.
Basically. So yeah, no es bueno.
I guarantee in 5 years they're gonna make another remastered Joker. Not remaster, but they're gonna redo it like they did with the Fantastic Four.
You know what? The way I look at this is it is a godsend.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see more Joker spin-offs while James Gunn is trying to create the DCU. Just get rid of that character for fucking 10 years.
Yeah, I am looking forward to Superman. I am genuinely. I know we talked about that before. I'm genuinely curious.
I am anticipating a mediocre movie, which is
Me
fine.
too. Me too. I'm not going with high expectations. I'm going in with like, all right, give me the bare bones.
If it was me and they were like, here's the keys to the DC universe, take it over, I would not start with Superman.
I would.
He is the most boring character.
Mm-hmm.
But like you're about to okay, so the reason I say this is you're about to start a franchise, and you want people to watch the next movies.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you start with one of the most exposed boring characters?
There are actually a couple of decent stories that have been told involving Superman that you could still like play around with or have some fun with.
It has the intro for the audience. Something.
Oh, for the intro. There's a couple of ways you can also go into that too, but the main reason is because if you're thinking bigger picture, for better or for worse, Superman is the key to like kind of kicking things off in the major way of the DC universe, at least the way I see it, as far as like Justice League and other franchises. So at the very least, just to do the ones to get it out of the way, and then
that's okay. I was waiting for you to say to get it out of the way. That is the worst take to start a franchise of films, but you don't know if you're gonna have more. It's just we got to get this out of the way. It's probably the worst fucking thing you could say about it.
Well,
Rayshon, would you start with Superman?
I would not start with Superman, and honestly, I don't really care for the Superman at all. But I will start with another character that can merge Superman into it.
Fan either.
Yeah, I really hate Superman.
I don't mind Superman, but he's so like.
And to be honest,
he's so wholesome country boy that it's kind of.
I wouldn't even start with Batman either.
No,
honestly, I probably would start with Teen Titans.
You could, but you also have to think about like how many people are gonna watch something just featuring Teen Titans.
I actually wouldn't mind starting with the Justice Guild.
What is the most street level superhero in DC? And don't say Batman.
Street level, like a hood guy, like Black.
Red Hood isn't he just fucking?
It's Robin on roids.
Is there any like street level?
Yeah, but street level like a.
I actually like. I would have been fucking if they didn't do the Joker movie. I would have probably done the fucking Joker as the intro. Not the Joker movie that they did, but something similar.
I was thinking
start off with villain movie instead of a hero.
I was thinking was why not do a Justice Guild of America, like the old school 1950s.
The way I look at it is like DC has been like applauded for their villains, and the one thing that Marvel does terribly is establish villains.
Yeah,
it would make sense to kind of go the opposite route and do a villain movie first, then you can do the Superman movie. That villain has nothing to do with, just a Superman movie, and you establish a couple other characters and villains, and then you do the third movie is a movie that villain maybe does have something to do with. I just feel like
that's probably permanent.
Going the villain arc and going with a bit more of an adult theme. It doesn't have to be rated R, but like something a bit more adult would actually separate them from the Marvel counterpart that people are slowly growing tired of. But the problem is that's not James Gunn. James Gunn, look at him. Come on.
The Hope has some of the brightest minds
he's bubblegum.
If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have
He
got
is
there.
kind
Follow
of,
me.
he's a restrained Taika Waititi, which is a good thing,
Your fellow
really.
colonists. Gladys
Yeah.
Kelly.
I loved Guardians 3. Guardians 3 was a very, very good send
I
off, in
think
my
Guardians
opinion.
1, just because it was the first, I think Guardians 1, 3, and then 2.
Yeah, but they're all very stellar movies. They're all
Yeah, they're
very
all
solid.
great.
Amongst the Marvel ranks of some other not so great ones. But that's why I'm kind of curious how he does with Superman. I only fear that it might be a little formulaic in the same sense of like, oh wait,
How can it not be?
I know that's what I'm like, curious about. Like, how is this going to go? I think it's still going to be an enjoyable ride, and I think that he, I think we said this with the trailer when we were talking about it. He's clearly going to be showing a ton of respect to the history and lineage of the character, with a lot of callbacks and Easter eggs and little things here and there. I'm just curious how the screenplay is going to translate.
So I've had this conversation in my head. But
That's a great start.
When you look at, like, if you were going to make a superhero movie, who do you want to appease more? The masses that will watch it, or the people that'll be like, well, it's different in the comic book? I kind of like it when they don't adhere to the comic book, because the comic book is so fucking corny 90% of the time and out of touch.
Nope. Don't say that.
Well, okay, you look at the fucking
depends on the story.
look at the Green Lantern. They had to put fucking weird ass prosthetics and fucking bowl cut on him just so he looks like the comic book. And then there are gonna be people who be like, well, that character looked dumb as shit. Why they do that? And be like, it was like that in the comic book. It was like that in the comic book. Is not
Guy Gardner.
it is not an answer to be like, oh, so it is good. All it is different. It's not better because it was in the comic book, and it's not passable because it's in the comic book. He doesn't even look like a fucking human being that could exist.
I think it depends, because obviously they've done the variations of like things already in the MCU. Like Ultron was created by Hank Pym, Ant-Man in the comics, and they kind of did their own thing with it. Which actually, Ultron is a really bad example of deviating from the source material. But the point is, they've done it before already with success, and I'm totally fine with that. They've kind of pick and chose the
I feel like
right ones.
you want the comic book, you got the comic book. Like, if it doesn't make sense on camera or it makes people do a double take, you don't get a free pass because it was the comic book. For me, like, okay, you make something look fucking god awful on camera, and then you got all these fucking people that are fucking comic nerds coming out. Well, it looked in the comic book. I'm like, yeah, but on film it looks like fucking shit. So
I agree with you on that. Apocalypse was terrible looking at X-Men.
Oh my god, I don't even know if I would attribute that to.
I keep forgetting that's Oscar Isaac.
What a terrible choice, the 5'6" guy to be Apocalypse.
Oh, I fucking hate stupid What If. It was so bad. So bad. I begrudgingly watched all of season 3 of What If over this weekend.
How about the director of Deadpool and Wolverine? I think the one thing I'll say with Deadpool and Wolverine,
ooh, yeah,
that's what Jurgen said. That movie knew exactly what was meant to be. Just like Spider-Man, No Way Home, Homeward Bound, whatever the fuck it was called. They knew what the movie was supposed to be.
It was a nice balance of serious and jokes, because you got that serious character in Wolverine, and they balance each other out.
My biggest worry is that Marvel will take the wrong message from that movie and be like, you know what? Let Deadpool and Wolverine, it did really well. So all of a sudden they're going to be like, well, let's do these two oddball spin-offs. Like the buddy cop all of a sudden shows up in Marvel Universe. I can easily see that happening, because the only reason that worked is because literal dog shit came before it. And you've got two established characters in two franchises you didn't create, and letting them do what they want. You hit the right method, the right amount of nostalgia in a movie that was kind of made for it, because it's the fourth wall breaking shit. They should just leave that alone and not learn anything from it. I do not want to see more of that.
I'm hoping / thinking what's going on is that they realize they took a massive like blow to the gut with the content they came out lately with, and they're slowing shit down and realizing they want quality over quantity. I'm not saying it's going to be an instant overnight success, but I think they've definitely slowed down as far as the amount of shit they've been
My problem
pumping
is I
out.
worry about Disney, where there is like a literal agenda going on there for the movies they make that is hurting them time and time again. They're slowing down on it, but like the push for like race swap, gender swap, this swap, that swap, and not just being like, can you put a little of what it is? Like, come on, just do what it was. Do a different take. I don't care about the storyline so much, but when you change characters, they're unrecognizable. Then come on. And I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody would be in the same boat. I don't want to see fucking Blade played by a Chinese man.
I kind of do now.
I'm Blade.
Rishra.
I'm Rampire.
Rishra. No, isn't Whistler was the guy old man. Rishra.
The worst fucking
Rishra.
person to have as a teacher.
Rishra, where are you, Rishra?
Yes, where are you?
Rishra. Oh my God, I saw a clip online that
Vampires.
I forgot it. Vampires, Grandpa. Got the garlic.
I think the problem is I think Disney still has their horse hitched to that, and it's failing them every step they go. And just make good shit. Who cares? Diversity is great when it's just done right.
I think they're gonna hopefully learn some lessons from these next couple of movies, one way or the other. By the way, I saw this great. Oh God, I saw this great TikTok. I'm trying to remember it now, but I'm too fucking stoned. I can't fucking remember. God damn it!
You said something wrong already. Great TikTok.
Yeah.
Oxymoron.
Hold on. God damn it. Now I have to look it up. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
Oh God. But actually, you know what? To a point, Disney came out with
Oh, now I remember.
What was it? Was a Wild Robot or something? That was pretty good kids movie.
Oh wait, Teenage Robot? That was Nickelodeon, right?
I think it was called The Wild Robot. I don't even know if it was Disney, to be honest. In the end,
the Wild Thornbirds.
Nope. I found a clip online. It was from South Park, and it was Cartman had hired Kyle's cousin Kyle, the super Jewish one, to do a naughty and nice audit because he really wanted a specific toy from Santa. And the whole conversation is just absolutely delightful. Where he's like, "So how was it?" He goes like, "Eric, this isn't looking good. It's looking very bad." And he's like, "How bad?" He's like, "Well, you have over 4,000 accounts of being naughty to your 3 nice. So at this point, you're actually going to owe Santa 306 presents." Like, what the fuck?
I remember this episode of.
So he's like, I got to get the toy. He's like, and he's getting pissed off at him. And finally he goes, "But it's Christmas time. There's still
like 1 day left.
There's still hope, right?" He's like, "Is there anything I could do?" And he just thinks for a second. He goes, if next week you cured AIDS and cancer, you still owe 3 presents. Son of a bitch. Fucking.
Good shit. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, Heather. I'm in another realm.
So
I'm in the Erd tree.
Yeah, the next movies are going to be interesting in the world of cinema.
Yeah, well, I think the one thing I like is I'm seeing a departure from everything being superhero. It's actually good for superhero movies because. Like you said, quality not quantity. I don't want fucking 7 superhero movies a year.
That's why I was very happy that Agatha all along was a pleasant surprise and honestly a very fun show.
I feel deep in my soul I'll hate that show. But I will watch it because even if it's not good, if it's mediocre.
I was gonna say,
I will be pleasantly surprised.
I say like a respectable, like above average. Like I wouldn't say it's like the best thing ever, or like it's like you gotta see it. I think there was a lot of. It was a fun adventure. obviously because they're the same people who did it, but a lot of WandaVision-esque vibes, and I mean that I think in a good way. You'll get it.
I think
When you see the way it's
biggest
presented,
hurdle-
it's kind of similar.
My biggest hurdle is I don't care about the character, which is gonna be the thing I need to get over.
I
And
think
maybe they'll
Catherine Hahn's
make
gonna win you over.
I liked her in Step Bros.
If it helps, you see her bare ass in the first episode.
That doesn't really help.
Sold.
That doesn't help enough.
I was thinking that maybe
I need to see her actual ass, not her bare ass.
No, it is her actual ass.
I don't got much experience fixing actual
No, I know. I don't really
spaceships.
care
I
that
bet you
much,
can of
but
roast and beans, you could teach me all manner of stuff.
the only one I'll say now. I hate this girl and her fucking goggles that never go around her eyes.
Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth
What is
it.
she, fucking Ratchet and Clank?
Is that like the Asian setting on like the Play-Doh when you try to
Yeah, she's like,
do the
I
different
want to
shapes?
see you worse. Those are her driving glasses.
I like that joke on fucking Drawn Together. You ever seen that show?
I have. I've seen a little bit of it. I haven't seen too much of it.
I love that they did. They did
honestly,
like a.
I don't know what it is, man. There's certain shows I'll watch and like the animation is just killing me.
In what way? Like,
I can't get behind certain American animation because it's so fucking ugly.
yeah, I
Even
think
though the show is not bad, like Rick and Morty was a struggle because of how ugly the fucking show looked.
Identification, please.
But then I got into it and I'm like, okay, it's not that bad.
it's literally one of those things where it's
It
like
makes sense.
you won't notice.
thematically.
You won't notice it after a while. Oh no.
It makes sense thematically for that show. And fucking the one with the fucking period monster or fucking whatever. it was
Big
called.
Mouth?
Yeah. But I also dropped off that because I'm like, damn, I could draw this.
I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record,
So what's the good ones?
your ship will be impounded until
Not
such a
from
time
North
as-
America.
American Dad, Family Guy.
You'll want to take it up with Udom.
Family Guy is at least smooth. It's not like hideous to
You
the
talking about
eye. It's like
animation?
Simpsons. It's not hideous to the eye. I didn't care for King of the Hill.
Old Jackman?
Yeah, I was
King
gonna
of
say
the Hill.
King of the Hill got better. Their animation did get
I
better.
didn't like the animation or the like really
The humor.
Texas humor.
I like Bob.
I like it. It's actually fun.
Bob's Burgers one I couldn't watch. I watched like 20 minutes and I'm like, I don't know what part is supposed to be funny.
I love it. It's dry. It's dry humor.
Yeah, I don't mind dry humor, but
The King of the Hill one.
all I got
honestly,
from what I saw of Bob's Burgers, all I got was dry. I didn't get the humor part.
oh, Bobby. The King of the Hill stuff.
Funny, man.
The King of the Hill stuff I didn't appreciate it until actually more recently. Where once
I think
I
I'd like it
once
more
I
as an adult, yeah.
oh yeah, once I got the joke that like, oh, Hank is like this type of person. Once you understand like who Hank is and then the personality traits of each of them and how they will react, you kind of get like I get it, and I'm actually now understanding like why it actually survived as long as it did. It's getting a fucking reboot.
Well, I'm gonna have to watch that again because
Yeah, but I hate,
I'm with you, Rayshon.
I hated the animation
that
in
show.
Beavis and
It
Butthead.
was like every time I watch it, it's like Bummer, and everyone's like dying of laughter. I'm like,
it's not
what?
every episode. Yeah, it's not like a fucking barrel over monk. Like, oh my god, it's so fucking funny.
But my problem is when I watch like cartoon comedy, the cleverness is where I'm looking, and I didn't really see that in that show either. Maybe I didn't pick up on it, but it just seemed like this nuanced character humor that never really got over with me. Or like Futurama, Simpsons, Family Guy. Any of these, okay, Family Guy at first. Eventually, that became retarded, but there was that nuance. Funny that I could get behind. I don't know. I guess it depends. Everybody's different, right? Like I'd give King of the Hill a shot again, but I'd probably have to.
It's bits and pieces too. It's drugs. Not. That explains everything on my end. Good night, moon. I haven't blinked in days. Oh God, Jesus.
Tennyson will get the radiator.
Oh my, yeah, fucking Christ.
Is that the only thing that happens with your mouth, or can you do more?
Is there a person in there?
I'm asking for a friend.
It's an ale that's good.
His name's
Where?
Nathan.
How do they see?
Oh, and it's not the
Oh, is it the camera on their neck? Is that a camera on their neck?
Taste the freedom.
I hate
Oh,
this.
that's that shit you put the device on.
Sometimes I
The
forget.
Is there
game
one?
shit.
Is there one that with like an extension for like a rod of some kind?
Have a look.
Again, asking for a friend.
Moonbeam.
Ah, damn. Be
Huh?
You gotta
right
put this
back.
shit on the net.
What you buying? It's weird. Now that I finished Resident Evil, I feel like I want to play it every now and then.
I have to not replay, but I gotta continue Resident Evil 3. I didn't finish it. I
didn't
finished
finish.
1. I
I didn't
finished
finish
2.
2 or
Go ahead.
3 remake. I finished the originals. What? Yeah, I know. I finished that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Wait.
talking only remakes. Like
Oh,
1, 2. I'm in the middle of 3. I just stopped playing it for like over a year now.
yeah. I finished the original 1, 2, and 3. Then I tried to play the remake, and I'm like, man, I just finished work. I'm not ready to be this on edge while playing this game.
And I tried doing playing 0 again, but I got stuck again after years later.
I've
I
never.
played it on the GameCube and I got stuck and I got frustrated, so I gave up on it.
You know
And it happened
what?
to me as an adult.
They need to remake Dino Crisis. Give me that.
Yes. Think.
Where is that game? It
I'm
was so
surprised you
good.
know what that is. I thought I was the only one that know what Dino Crisis.
It was
game?
so good. Dino Crisis, so good.
It was
There was 2 of them,
amazing.
and they were both great.
Actually, it was 3 of them.
Oh, really? I never played the third one.
I think there was a third one that came out during the Xbox 360 era. The
They were
PS3.
basically Resident Evil 2 clones with dinosaurs.
Maybe I'm hoping for a third one. Maybe let me just look it up.
I don't know. There's certain games that go away that like everybody loves, and it's like, why didn't you make another one?
I would love to do Simpsons Road Rage again. I know it'll never happen.
They need to update that formula to make it work. Also, they got sued, so I don't know if that'll ever come back. Okay, what are some games that there was like 1 or 2 of that all of a sudden disappeared that you wish had like fucking Assassin's Creed run?
SOCOM.
SOCOM. I'm so surprised SOCOM and Splinter Cell just fucking disappeared. I wasn't a huge fan of Splinter Cell, but I know
Yeah,
a lot
because
of
it
people
was
were.
too stealthy, but
It was too stealthy and too slow, but a lot of people were, and that fucking game just poof.
There's a franchise that's had a weird run because it like died and then it had a weird surge and then it died again and then it had a comeback. It was what?
Battlefield.
No, Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal needs to come back. I feel like if you're gonna have a game that's okay, I don't know if you guys played Helldivers 2, like a game that is like online service where you can get upgrades over time, you get the battle pass, things like that. That is like a fucking car shooter, arena shooter, is like ripe for
So
that
good.
to me.
And they're hard to come by these days.
Right
Because
time, right place.
like Twisted Metal was all about like the visuals of the vehicles, but also the gameplay was solid. But still, you know what I mean. If you combine like we've got a million car games, man. Why don't we have a car fucking combat game? Where's that? And Twisted Metal had so much lore too.
Oh, I was about to say, isn't that Rocket League? But I forgot Rocket League soccer.
No, the Rocket League. Yeah, no, they don't have. They haven't. I mean, the game would cost a lot to make, but at the same time, they made a show. The show was pretty popular. I think they're doing a season 2 of the show, and the lore that exists in the universe, you could make a fucking. I would even say make a online co-op, local co-op, or single player version of it, like all of those, where you can play with friends to get through the story missions, and then have the online aspect. It's so. The idea is made for it.
Yep.
But they don't want to do it, so I don't know.
You just thought it was too stoned to make up that answer.
Another one that a lot of people like that I never really got on board with was Sly Cooper. but I know a lot
Oh,
of people
I
like the
remember
franchise.
Psycho Bird. It was on Game Boy
It was like a heist
Advance.
game with a bunch of animals.
Yeah, it was
That
a
was good stuff. I
raccoon.
remember that one.
Raccoon. There was the turtle.
Yes. I think it was on GameCube as well.
You know, oh man, bring back Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Nah, they need to bring back Max Payne or Dead to Rights.
Give me Conker's Bad Fur Day, make it rated R, and make it fucking
Modern times.
Yeah, oh,
The less time they got to meddle in our affairs.
that would be great.
Oh, what about that game Bully? Remastered Bully.
I heard that might be what they're doing, but I think they would be better for them to just fucking make a second one.
Bullied was.
I never
okay.
played. I've never played Bully.
I did.
I still
It's like
have.
one of the only Rockstar games I never played.
It's literally the best way I can describe it. It's GTA Light.
Yeah, I think that the whole idea was it to be like, we're gonna make GTA, but teenagers can play it because it was in
And
high
kill.
school.
Yeah, I still have my Bully game.
I'm trying to think of any other franchise. What happened to, like, I don't know. I used to play StarCraft and Warcraft, and those games just died. They don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh well, maybe Warcraft Online. I'm talking about Warcraft, the strategy game.
and StarCraft, you can download that on Battle.net.
Yeah, but it's fucking 2001 version of whatever. Like
True.
one thing they did is what they killed was Warcraft 3, which was a strategy game.
Ah, yes.
That was a good game.
You were coming. You must be the captain of the Unreliable.
It was a great game, and Blizzard, in all their fucking infinite wisdom, deleted the original game. You can't get it anywhere.
Something happened.
And replaced it with the updated game. But the updated version of Warcraft 3 is basically the updated version of like those GTA trilogy that was like god awful. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like the one that they revamped and the graphics are somehow worse.
Yeah. I'm looking through the list of one-time video games on major consoles. Someone said LA Noire.
I still need to
that
finish
was
that
the
game.
good one.
That game we should play soon because I played through like 10% of it.
That was a good game. And Mafia, too.
Right.
I heard Mafia was good. I know I did play Mafia for a little while. Let's see.
There. That's a flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience.
I think you need to start with Pokemon.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the
So many colors.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, we're running out of colors. Saboteur, Split Second. Oh, I do remember Split Second. I do. Like, that's the one where the guy could freeze time for a few moments.
Terrible news.
Split Second. I think that's what the thing is. Hold on, let me see.
Split Second. That's Quantum Break.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional of me.
Oh God, I'm way the fuck off. It's a racing game. Way the fuck off. All right, great. It's a racing game set within a reality TV show. Oh shit.
It's personal business, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it was a terrible racing game. Like Blur. You ever play Blur?
No.
Don't do it to yourself.
Truth be told,
just a matter of trust.
not really into most of racing games, with the exception, of course, of the infamous ones that involve a certain plumber in red overalls.
You know, it'd be great if they brought it back. And this is a game that I love that I don't know why it doesn't exist anymore. Is Marvel Ultimate Alliance. You guys know
that
that?
was fun. That was fun.
It's a 4-player co-op game where you play through like a 30-hour story. You pick your fucking hero, and they have like a tree of upgrades you can do. It was kind of arcade style, but it was still a lot of fun.
I'm honestly surprised, especially at this point with the amount of fucking characters they have now.
Yeah.
Why they decided to do the other fucking dog shit instead of this?
I mean, Snap's not bad.
No, that's right. The
Oh,
other Marvel game where Kamala Harris at the beginning.
Well, once you've tired of your
Wait, what?
jokes, you know where to find me.
Where you're Kamala Khan at the beginning.
Oh, that's Avengers game.
Yeah, instead of
Oh
that,
my
they
God.
should have done Ultimate Alliance. They have
Hold
all
on.
the rights to all of the fucking characters. Like,
Hold
come on, man.
I thought you guys kept saying Kamala Harris.
I did say Kamala Harris.
So I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
The Elastic Girl.
Yeah. The bitch with Biden.
The racing
yeah,
game
Ultimate
they
Alliance
used
was
to
really,
bring back is
really good.
Midnight
They
Club.
also should have made like Dead Space. They should have kept that series going, but it's dead. They remastered it instead of making another one.
Yo, do you know that horror game Fear Project?
I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends.
What?
Hope you don't
Ooh,
mind
The
hold on.
Fear,
an introduction.
the
Oh,
Fear
sorry.
Project?
Doesn't see many visitors.
The horror game project?
No, the horror game called The Fear Project.
The Fair
Fear.
Project.
Fear.
Project.
Oh,
Fair.
Fear. Yo, Fear? The game?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I've never played it, but I know what you're talking about.
Hold on,
There's
I
like
found-
some little girl with black hair following you around.
I got an article from thegamer.com here that says 15 console games from the 90s that never got sequels and 15 classics that need a reboot. So here we go.
Let's see.
So number 30 needs a sequel. Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire.
I don't even know what this game is. I would say Star Wars: The Old Republic was fucking insane.
Needs a reboot? Nope. Oh, sorry.
Well,
So
they were going
it says
to, but
here.
God knows.
It says here, Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire was released in '96 on Nintendo 64. It was a part of a multimedia project that was going to leave several different projects, all centering on the events occurring between Empire Strike Back and Return of the Jedi. The video game was well received as it told the story of Dash Rendar and his attempts to help Luke Skywalker so they could rescue Princess Leia from Prince Exur. As
So
a great of the game it never had a sequel.
Before you move on, I don't remember this game, but when it comes to Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic needs a remaster. That game was so like advanced, but the graphics couldn't keep up with what they wanted to do with it. Other than that, did any of you guys play the fucking Pod Racer game? And was it not awesome?
Oh my God! Thank you for saying
It
that.
was so fucking
What's a
cool.
pod racer?
When Phantom Menace came out, either right before or right after,
It
they
was
made
almost as good as like a Mario Kart or one of those.
They made a Star Wars pod racing game based off of the pod racing that you see in Episode 1. It was fucking a blast.
Two jet engines tied to a fucking seat.
Customized shit. It was so much.
The game was actually very good. And like what I see of that game, if you're gonna do like a Star Wars full-on, like you're gonna make like a new Final Fantasy VII remake, but it's Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, you make that be like the mini games that you play, the racing mini game.
According to my grandmother's
That game is awesome.
the parts we need should be in the
I was never into Star Wars, but Battlefront was a really good game.
Until the second one.
Until the second one, yes.
Yeah.
The
Alright.
batteries are on a lower deck, long abandoned.
What's next on the list?
Needs a reboot? Dino Crisis.
Yes. Yes.
This is an interesting one. I don't know how to feel about this one. It says needs a sequel. GoldenEye 007.
Just reboot GoldenEye as
Just
a fucking
reboot it and
franchise.
then create the sequel.
Just reboot it. Start from the first
Oh, I
fucking
forgot about
James
that one.
Bond movie. You don't have to like word for word imitate the storyline, but you know,
Working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei.
just make your own. Make a new James Bond video game.
Junlei is fine.
I was about to
That
say,
you
like,
actually put care into.
you can actually make a pretty decent one nowadays.
You can do whatever storyline you want with James Bond.
But then again, wouldn't that game be Hitman?
Not like you don't have to have it as the same. Well, Hitman is like, I'm gonna go strangle someone in the forest and wear their skin.
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
I feel like if they treated it like everything I've seen about like the new Indiana Jones game, if they treated GoldenEye similar to that, where you had different levels of gameplay and things you had to do in it, it could be alright.
I should have said
Or not, I'm not GoldenEye, James Bond. Sorry.
honest.
All right, needs a reboot. Chrono Trigger.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, so Chrono Trigger is a very good SNES game.
Very good.
Yeah, made by Akira Toriyama.
If there's nothing
Is
else.
that his name?
That's
Dragon Ball, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all the art is designed by Akira Toriyama. The game's made by other people, but
It's actually really good.
it is a very good action RPG. I don't know if I agree with this because it's almost perfect the way it is. Like you know
Yeah.
what would happen? It would become some cell shaded fucking dog shit if they redid it. Unless they did it like FF7 and did like a fucking full on, we're gonna remake this and make it bigger than it ever was, expand it, visually update it to be not just. I don't want it to look like the Dragon Ball games.
Microtransactions.
Well, microtransactions are terrible.
Needs a sequel. Comics Zone. I have no idea on that one.
I remember this. I think is this the game where you were literally in a comic book?
No, that's Beautiful Joe.
No. There was a game before that made for Sega Genesis.
It says here, yeah, this was in Sega Genesis 95.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking of. It was literally a comic book, and you fought through like frames of
Channels.
a comic book.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting.
Really neat style.
This one needs a reboot. Half-Life.
I never got into Half-Life. There's a lot of people that did.
Yeah, me neither.
I played Half-Life, but I played it way later than I should have. And I'm like, this is kind of dog shit. But I think it was one of those ones where it like created a bunch of mechanics for video games.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. I never got on the bandwagon for it. I tried it for a little bit. I'm just like, this. No. But
I can see like innovation where like everybody took things from the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of like the XFL where it's like,
yeah, I was never on the
XFL
ground
shit,
floor, man.
but there was a couple of things that we're gonna take the ideas from. Needs a sequel. Diddy Kong Racing.
Yes, that was fun.
So I played the new Donkey Kong on Switch, Tropical Freeze.
Mhm.
That game was fucking excellent. I give that game like a 9 out of 10
Really?
for how similar it was to the SNES Donkey Kongs, while also looking much better and having updated game mechanics. If they wanted to do a Donkey Kong fucking racer off of that, Diddy Kong Racing, I'd be 100% down with it.
Glad to hear that. Needs a reboot. Star Wars X-Wing.
Hold on, I'm glad you told me that, Basement, because I've been on the fence of buying Tropical Freeze.
I really enjoyed it. It's not the longest game in the world, but if you really liked Super Nintendo Donkey Kong games,
Yep, that was one of my favorite games.
yeah, it captures that
Donkey Kong
pretty
Country.
well. Yeah, I enjoyed the game at least.
I'm still recovering from the anxiety of Donkey Kong 64, and especially the fucking mine
It's a,
carts.
I found it easier because those games were pretty tough,
Okay.
especially towards the end. But it is fun.
So going back to what I said, needs a reboot. Star Wars X-Wing.
I remember the game, but I don't remember playing it. It was like a flying game.
Yeah,
Was it
pilot.
flying?
Yeah. Needs a sequel. Gunstar Heroes.
Don't know what that is.
Nope. Needs a reboot. Hydro Thunder. I remember this one.
I do
Hydro. That sounds like a Pokemon move.
It's like Cruising USA with boats, like speed boats. It
I've
was
never
alright.
played this game.
It was alright.
Blastoise, Hydro Thunder.
Needs it.
I don't know that move, Master.
Killed everybody in the pool. Needs a sequel. Dragon Valor.
The game sounds familiar.
I was thinking about Dragon Age.
PlayStation 99.
Oh.
Wait, are you? Was the system PS99?
No.
PS99 on the PlayStation.
Yes, PlayStation 1.
Okay, so I know the name, but I have no idea what the game's about. It's an RPG. It sounds like.
Needs a reboot. Parasite Eve.
A lot of people love this game. This came out around Resident Evil times and Silent Hill, and it was in the same
Oh, I
vein.
think I heard about this one.
And you played as Eve, and she had like some superpower or something. Everybody like really liked it. I never got into it, and just because I never had the opportunity to play it.
Let's see what we got here. Needs a sequel. Mischief Makers.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't either. It's a N64 side-scrolling for released in '97. No idea on that one. Needs a reboot. Bushido Blade.
It is getting a reboot. It's getting a new game.
It is.
Just announced at the Game Awards.
Let's see. Needs a sequel. Crystalis.
Never heard of it.
RPG video game in 1990, and then released a remake done in 2000 for Game Boy Color.
They need to redo Shinobi, honestly.
Let's see here. Let me speed run through these a little bit. Needs a reboot. Streets of Rage needs a.
It
No,
did
they
have
did do that.
God damn it.
They did have a new one, but I
Yeah.
hate the fact that it was 2-player for some reason. When you're making a fucking game that's downloadable that anybody can play online, why is it not 4-player? We would have played that if it wasn't 2-player. I love Streets of Rage, and I heard it was a really good game. What the
Yes.
fuck's up with 2-player?
I have no idea.
Streets of Rage.
Needs a sequel. Dracula Unleashed.
Sounds
No idea.
like a movie.
Needs a reboot. Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Mm-hmm. That game was so fucking excellent.
Wow, I can't believe I forgot about this one.
But
Sega
I
Genesis
remember the big
93.
toddler. And it's on
Yep.
Super Nintendo. It's like you got to a stage level 8, the giant baby, and the fucking mother. Yeah, I'm like, it was called Zombies Ate My Neighbors, but once you got past like level 4, it had nothing to do with zombies.
Sounds about
It
right.
had little fucking Chucky dolls. It had werewolves, vampires, giant toddler, like skyscraper toddler.
Needs a sequel. Fighters Megamix.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Needs a reboot. Blast Corps or Core.
I know of the game. Does anybody here remember the game Vector?
What game?
There was a game. I think it was made for Genesis. I think it was Genesis, and you were like a guy connect like your. It was like cutting edge graphics, but your whole body was like well, most of your body was like these orbs connected to each other, and you were green, and you kind of looked like the beginning version of Master Chief.
So I hold up here to lay low.
Oh man, I remember that game.
Oh no.
It was
Yeah, I
like a
don't-
side-scrolling
I
adventure, and you can extend your arms and stuff.
I'm gonna barrel through. I barreled through the rest of the list. I'm just gonna read off the ones that will probably be the most recognizable IPs. I don't know about this one. Needs a sequel. Toy Commander.
I remember that.
I don't remember that.
Needs a reboot. Battletoads.
I've heard of it.
I think they did reboot that or re-released it for.
Another one that needs a reboot. Banjo Kazooie.
Oh.
Okay, so Banjo. I think Banjo Kazooie is like in the same boat as like
Classic.
Conker's. They just. It's one of those franchises that only had. What did it have? Like 2 to 3 games or something? On N64?
Yep, but they came out with a lot of good shit though.
It was Banjo Tooie.
Mm-hmm.
I think they only had 2 games, but it was you're a bear with a bird, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The thing is like those 3D platformers are well. I mean, the 3D platformer was Game of the Year this year, so bring it back.
Bring it back. What's the next on the list?
Let's see here. I got. I think they did do this. It says needs a reboot. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
They did. It was the failure, though.
Yeah.
Honestly, that game hit at the right time, the right moment. Even if it was made exactly like it was, just looking like today's day and age, I wouldn't play it.
Agreed.
I mean, Pro Skater 4 was like the best one of the best ones.
Needs a I'll do the top of the list here. Needs a sequel. Mario Paint. And then the number
No.
one is I've never heard of this one. Needs a reboot. Syndicate.
Like as in Assassin's Creed.
No, it's a real-time tactical game released in '93.
Nope, don't know that.
I was 1 year old.
I have no idea what that one is about. So, all right, good list.
I'm trying to think of other games that I've played that were really good.
Yeah, we could come up with a better list than that.
Probably, but I would take 10,000 years. And
You know what
probably-
they need to remaster though? NBA Jam.
They tried. It didn't work.
Or NFL Blitz or some shit like that.
I feel like NBA Jam is one of those things. NBA Jam is almost a mini game in today's games.
I could see that.
Certain
I could
games
see that.
kind of fit that category where they're not enough. If you tried to make a full game, you wouldn't have a player base for long enough. But if you infused it into another game, maybe.
Yeah, I could see that. Thank you for shutting that shit down.
You're welcome.
Miss Doyle owes the board a
You know
small
what? Oh,
sum.
Def Jam Vendetta.
All she has is her organs.
I mean, it wouldn't
Yeah,
work
but
nowadays because
they could just easily put those characters in a Mortal Kombat or a Street Fighter game.
Well, I mean, Def Jam, if it was nowadays, half the fucking characters would be like mumble rappers, rappers that dress like women. It just wouldn't work.
I was trying to shut down your idea. It failed.
What guarantee do I have that she'll agree to the terms you negotiate?
Man, Fight for New York, so good.
Yeah.
That was THQ Aki. Come on.
What was another one?
I quite concur.
True Crime Streets of LA, I think it was one.
That sounds
I
so
will
familiar.
recall my collection agent. Tell Miss Doyle to
One of my favorite like accidental franchises that I really got into. In fact, it was actually the very first first-person shooter game I ever played. Was Resistance: Fall of Man.
I'm surprised that
I remember
franchise didn't.
Resistance.
The first one.
That franchise just like died because
Well,
was
the first
such a
one was
cornerstone.
really good. The second one took a nosedive down.
I'm almost sure it was the selling point for PS2.
3.
And Red Faction was a decent game
It
too.
came out
Red
same.
Faction is a travesty. That was a game where everything could be like blown up. Like the idea behind it was great, and they just whatever it is.
Yeah, Resistance was a shit ton of
Yo,
fun.
you know what game we should all been playing on a stream? Payday.
I never got into Payday. We tried Rainbow Six, and that was never gonna work because
It's too tactical and slow.
It's just one of those things that gets under my skin.
you know what game could use with a remake, and especially if they put a lot of care into it, it could be a fun arcade game.
Or if you are,
Rampage.
add it to my debt and we'll figure something out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Rampage.
Yeah.
The gorilla?
No, you just destroyed a city.
Thing is,
8 people destroyed
Yeah.
airplanes and helicopters.
Get Trump as a DLC.
Rampage World Tour. I remember that game. It was actually fucking difficult as shit because after a
gonna say,
while
like,
the tanks would come in and it'd be game over.
Yo, I said the gorilla. That's the movie.
Yeah, it is.
Hold
The
on.
albino gorilla.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, that's what that movie's based on.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I was right. With the gorilla. Yes.
Yeah,
the gorilla's in the game too. So is the other characters that show up, the reptile, and the other fucking thing that I can't remember.
The thing of it is, he's very chaotic, so it's a massive amount of reptile dysfunction.
Why you hit me with this?
Nah, they need to do Crazy Taxi again.
The problem with Crazy Taxi.
I think they're actually coming out with a remake of it at the beginning of the year. I'm not kidding.
The problem with Crazy Taxi is it's in GTA.
Stop shutting down my idea.
It is though. Like, it's still a fun game. It's just like I don't know. How do you make that game better than what it was?
You keep Axel.
I piece.
I piss.
Look at this ripe piece of meat just
I piss.
Microtransactions.
Bring me Mother 3.
What?
Did you guys ever play Mother?
No.
It was called Earthbound. You ever play Earthbound?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Bring me that back. Iconic soundtrack. Weird fucking storyline for any kid to play. Bring me that.
Welcome.
Twisted Metal Black legitimately scared the piss out of me.
There was an actual game called Black, so.
Yeah. Oh, Army of Two?
Didn't they make a
Oh, yes!
The first one was fucking great.
Army of Two!
It's funny, I actually thought of that earlier, but I was thinking of ones that didn't have a sequel.
You know, I only played that game for like 30 minutes. But
Really?
I'm like, I never played the whole game or anything.
Pretty damn
But I'm
good.
like, oh, it was cool. It was like the beginning of Gears of War, basically.
Oh, so we should do it. Then we should play it together.
Let's do it. How do we find it?
Emulator.
It might be on PlayStation.
Yeah, it might be.
Might be in the Plus.
It might be in the blues.
But it might not have. I don't remember if it was online co-op. Might just be locale.
Damn.
Under its skin,
Son?
this ship is all poison and darkness. Lead
I think.
bones,
Asbestos muscle? Maybe you're right.
Asbestos muscle.
You've got the run of the kingdom. Up those stairs, you'll find the parts. My crew won't get in your way.
What was that game? It was like a card fight. It wasn't Digimon.
Yu-Gi-Oh?
What was the game on PlayStation, original PlayStation?
Mm-hmm.
Monster Rancher.
Oh,
where you could
yeah.
put different CDs in and
Yeah.
different monsters
Mhm.
with different abilities for it. What a
Mhm.
cool idea, way beyond its time. I mean, other than that, you did fight those monsters against other people, but
Yeah, if anything, I'm playing Halo.
do you Halo?
Random
Halo,
swearing
Halo?
and cursing.
It's corner camp, bitch. I know
How
it's
was your
coming.
day?
I
How
know
was your day?
Rashawn's love for corner campers. Favorite thing. I wanted to get it for him for Christmas. What if you got a little camper with the term corner on it?
I literally don't know how this guy's so.
There we go.
Rashawn, this way can't play online shooter.
No.
Instant, like, I don't know how you doing it.
Yeah, like, hey, just a heads up, I might look at a little motherfucker. Testy. So I actually have a fun story too. Jurgen mentioned about like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. There was a game. I'm pretty sure I've told the story before on the channel, but it's still fun. There was a game that my cousin and I played for the original PlayStation. It was called Battle Arena Toshinden. And it was essentially a Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat-esque game with just kind of pseudo-random characters. It's kind of like when you find an action figure that has no licensing on it.
Virtual Fighter.
Yes, yeah. But
Oh, I remember
it was
Virtual Fighter.
it was a hag tag of like random shit. But my favorite character was named Po. He was a 120-year-old Chinese man with like razor claws as long as like Wolverine's like adamantium claws, but like even longer. And he would you have to Google it. You have to fucking try. So the best part is that we played the game and it was a lot of fun. We tried to knock each other out. We just try to make each other fucking laugh.
And alive.
And I remember one day we played the game for like 2 to 3 years, and I remember one day we were like, I was just button mashing like fucking crazy, and he made a fart attack, and the fart cloud like floated over and knocked me out of the arena, and he won. And I'm pretty sure that was the first day I ever laughed so hard I shit myself, because it was the funniest goddamn thing I had seen in my life, and it was completely caught off random.
Nah, those games had the
So much fun.
ultimate combos. You
Yeah,
had
that
to
was
button mash.
back in simpler times.
I just remember my sister's friend Janine, their family used to babysit us before my parents came home. And we used to play we never had a Sega Genesis, but we used to play fucking Streets of Rage religiously on that thing. We'd always get to the point where you get to I think it was the boss, where the helicopter shows up and he's like a fucking guy in a suit, and we could never fucking beat it. It's like fucking never ending. And then behind us was Grandma, and this woman was perpetually doing laundry. So good.
Forever.
She did, literally. I think that's all she did in life. She did laundry. It was great. It was just great. I mean, the house was wild, man. I remember. I guess they would just like they had a lot of cousins or something. A guy named Junior would show up, and Junior almost fucking burned the house down by putting toast in the toaster oven.
Cheesy Peter.
In one piece. Color me impressed.
He put toast in the toaster oven and left it in there forever.
Let's see, there's a story here.
I'll take those.
There is a story here.
I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering.
Oh
Take the
man.
elevator down
Oh,
to the
I heard a
machine
great
station. There's a terminal in the back.
Kevin Nealon joke online today, and he was doing an interview. I think it was with Conan. It might have been somebody else, but he was doing an interview, and he goes, the host goes, "Your wife is lovely. It's great. Where'd you meet her?" He's like, you want to know the truth? He goes, I met her at a costume party. Really? He goes, yeah. She went as a slinky. It was crazy. She was very creative. You know, it was great. And he goes, I met her 15 years ago. He goes, I can just remember back. I remember her seeing her. There she was as she's coming down the stairs.
Terrible. I was waiting with bated breath. And I'm like, okay, this is like the worst version of where this joke could go. The truth of the matter is, okay, so this is what pisses me off about this whole fucking joke. You didn't need to tell the joke to get the story, and the joke didn't add anything to the story. I remember her coming down the stairs, is all you have to say. God damn it, Connor, sometimes.
Listen, the fact that people even speak coherent sentences at this point in time is nothing short of a goddamn miracle. Oop.
I actually am curious as to how they are going to make, at this era in gaming, how they're going to make games like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter
better.
Really get, really, like, what's the next step for them? Because I can tell you right now,
I know what the
fighting
next step is.
fighting genre without like the competitive edge of people being like, we're gonna compete on the world stage. I don't know how many people play these anymore.
I know what the next stage is. The next stage is VR.
Oh my god, no, it is not.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I'm not saying it should be, and I'm not a fan of the idea of
I'm
it, but
going
you
to
know that's
barf
where it's
on
gonna
you.
go. You know that's where it's gonna go.
I don't know about that, man. VR is a weird
Where
thing. You want to play a fighting game in VR where you're punching and kicking nothing?
Yeah. Yep.
You're punching and kicking nothing, by the way.
It's the next step in the
It's gonna be like, sir, how did your wife get these black eyes? I was fighting Shang Tsung, and
it's the next natural step, though.
no, it is not. I don't think so. The problem with VR is like you need the mobility to be a bit more stabilized.
Mm-hmm.
You need like what's the stability rig where you put a camera on a
what?
When I can't. Oh, fuck, never mind.
The Connect.
Good talk.
And for making movies, you put a camera on a fucking like Segway. What's it called?
A tripod.
Yeah, no, not tripod. It does move. Not a gimbal. But my mind keeps wanting to say that.
A gizmo.
A gimbal is like a operated crane, I think, for cameras. In movie making terms.
I'm thinking about a gumbo.
There.
I have no idea what the fuck anybody's talking about right
I
now.
almost tried to unlock my phone by typing gimbal. You know it's bad at that point. A gimbal is not what they put at the side of the truck.
Oh,
it's like a fucking handheld fucking thing.
You think about a gimlet. It's a drink.
I hate everybody. So everything I'm looking up gimbal, and all I see is what I would assume is a selfie stick.
I said a something. No, I said a tripod, but like. Oh, you think about a gumball machine?
No, I'm not thinking. No, it has nothing to do with gimbal. God damn it.
So wait, who has gumballs?
I hate
The
everybody.
card.
I hate everyone around here.
Think about a pulley.
I'm not talking about such things.
So who has gum?
It's a dolly, you fucks.
Pardon?
You the one that
Honestly,
said
I'd stab you in the heart if you're around me.
It's a double wedge joke.
But it's bad still.
It's a twofer.
It's well, not a good twofer. It's a twofer I don't like.
Sorry, pardon me.
Oh God. Show me your tits.
JP just busts through the wall like the Kool-Aid man.
Someone said.
Oh yeah.
I forgot what we were even talking about.
Me too.
My boys are
Dolly
returning to
Parton.
clean. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate outsiders mucking
Is
around
there
my
like
spacious
a
guests,
celebrity
but you're all
or
right.
musical talent in this world
temperature
where
should be
you would be
dropping as we
like,
speak.
oh my god,
I'll see
let me
to
talk
it
to
the
this
crew
person?
knows who kept us all from boiling alive. If you've got
Yeah,
time,
I'm in
I
the same
believe
boat.
Edna
I
has
don't
a
give a shit
concert
about
she
any of
can
that.
use to attend.
Wait.
I've also authorized Doc and Furu to sell you our premium meds.
Yeah, if you
Yep.
saw somebody in like an airport, would you run up and be like, "Oh my god, autograph"?
If it was a convention situation, like and the person was around, yeah, I'd fucking that's a different
Convention, that's what
environment.
you're
But
there
yeah,
for, though.
right. But other than that, yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
There's only one person I would do that for.
And that is.
The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Oh my god, super kick.
I would ask him to kick me.
Huh.
Kick me.
He might. He knows.
No,
how to
buddy,
do
I
that.
can't.
My kink is I like my kink is I like to get sued.
If you're here for this week's magazine,
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I'll never be able to wrap my mind around people that are like
gonna sue me?
obsessed with celebrity. Maybe if you're like fucking 12 years old,
shouldn't be
I can understand, or like a kid, even a teenager, maybe. But
I think a majority of it is just they see what they like and we want to cop. I don't know. I really don't know what their mindset is.
I remember being at the club and seeing like half the Raptors basketball team, and being like, "Well, I'm gonna walk away from here so I feel like more of a man." They're all like fucking 7 feet tall. Yeah, the people that are like in love with celebrities it's very strange to me. Like super fandom to the point where you're not a fan of what anything they really do.
I was
you're a
about to
fan
say
of them. All of a
I
sudden.
can take like a
It's stalking, is what it is.
I say I can take the fandom as a lighthearted gestures to a point, and then yeah, stalking becomes another question. That's
It also is like if the person is there as like okay, so if somebody's like, oh, we're gonna showcase Kobe Bryant at tonight's dinner, then he's there to be showcased, not necessarily there as just Kobe Bryant out with his family or kid. I know he's dead. Whatever. Get past that. It's that idea of like, what's the purpose of you being in this area? If you're there to be celebrated, then I can understand fandom. But people that hunt, like, remember when people were hunting fucking Mercedes Monet at the airports? I'm like, oh god, you're gross. Just let people fly. It's already a terrible experience. I also saw this thing in like China where there's like these popular streets where geishas walk by, and people would like fucking hunt them down and take pictures of them.
Yeah.
They're not even celebrities. They're just dressed like geishas.
I don't get that one.
And well, they were like, we're gonna ban photography here, so you can't do that shit.
No.
My computer randomly wanted to freeze up on me. You know what?
Tis a boy. I unfortunately have work in the mañana, so I must depart a tad early.
Just quit, man. I'm telling you.
I want to so bad.
Quit.
But I have to get money for at least to get a PS5. Then I can quit.
I saw a PS5 today on sale.
I did too.
And it was $549 Canadian.
That's
like $7 American.
I don't think that conversion's correct, but anywho, I'll be back Tuesday, no bucks given into the new year. It's gonna be a hoot and a holla. So until then, Ray Sean, Heather, Basement, and everybody in the Chizat, you guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Good night.
Part in his absence. Thank God he's gone.
Sound like something in the movie.
Heather, I have no idea what the fuck you're doing. It looks like you're stealing toasters.
Not like someone left their name on it.
You ever play these first-person games and just imagine you as a person walking around like that, gun always drawn, straight as fuck. Once your arm get tired, the best animation is the creeping animation, where like your hands are out for some reason, like a fucking rapist cat. In any first-person game, they're like, the only way we can tell you're moving if we do something with your hands, and it just always look weird. It always looks weird. The creep always, for some reason, when you're creeping, you have to put your hands out and do like the wiggly fingers.
Unless you're here to file an incident
Like you're about to
report or
fucking
inquire about
rape
the bounty
someone.
posting, I must kindly ask you to clear out. The Mardet's offices aren't for leisure time.
She is pretty stern looking.
Got a hot one for you.
It's weird. Everybody in this game looks the same,
26 hours old.
but
The
not.
posting it is, not the criminal.
Like there's so much similarity in the reusable
Allegations include
facial
several
effects or
counts
whatever.
of flying under the influence,
Like she looks like the Asian
carrying
man,
open
but
alcoholic
with no
containers,
chin.
failure to pay docking fees, resisting arrest, and assaulting not one but two officers.
Hey Sean, what's going on, man?
Nothing's going
Such
on.
blatant disregard for order. It's a real
I'm
problem
just
in the
looking.
youth these days.
Huh?
It's true enough that he ain't particularly deadly, but the interest on
Oh, I
each file
love
being
it.
compounded as
I
it goes
love how
on
much
is
work we have to keep putting into it. I love the heaven. I just love it.
pointed toward the back
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you do.
You want the reward?
Nice place though.
Do the legwork.
Is that heaven?
When I can see it, looks
You and
nice.
about 6 other enterprising mavericks.
Oh, thank you.
It's only a matter of time before someone brings
Oh
you
yeah,
the red's
it's
head, or as
so,
lucky
so much
hunter, as
space.
proof of kill. I do hope you're the lucky
So
hunter,
much
though.
space. I don't know
Good
what to
luck
do
and
with
skip
myself.
speed to you.
What is he trying to pick up now, Jax? Come on, man.
Hi there. Haven't seen you around before. What can Groundbreaker Security do for you today?
This looks
This
exactly
is
like the Asian
security
guy.
desk, ma'am. If you're here to report
But
a
without a
crime,
beanie.
you'll want to talk to Commandant Sunita. I'm not authorized to take
Ugh.
incident reports anymore.
The
I'm
hell?
gonna base it. Like,
Less than there
can't
used
see.
to be.
What the hell is
Fewer
that?
freighters passing through these days. I
Who
spend
is
some
that?
shifts just
It's
listening to the
Ricochet
wires.
with toilet paper on.
I don't know. Like, okay, so when it comes to AEW, I don't know what the plan is with Ricochet. It seems like we are going to fucking turn him into shit. And I don't know what the plan is with Tony Storm. Both seem
And stuff from outside the
illogical
system,
to
too,
me.
off the interstellar freighters.
Can you
That's why we
explain?
also have so many
Can anybody
Armor
explain
Mardettes on
what they're
duty
doing with
here.
either of those people?
I'm sorry, what was that question?
So Tony Storm, what are they doing with her?
Oh, she's regular Tony Storm now, right?
Well, she's amnesiac, first time wrestling Tony Storm. All of a sudden, even though she was not a first time wrestler when she went to AEW, she had been wrestling for a long time
Oh,
before that.
she went from a heel to a babyface within 2 weeks.
Enough for a thank you tour.
She retired and came back as a younger version of herself.
Try not to do any shady
That's her
stuff. I'd
storyline.
like to keep my job.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like they wanted to reset the timeless gimmick or reset her and just didn't know how to do it.
Well, I honestly think this is, I don't know. I have to assume this is what she wanted to do. Like when the character finally comes to fruition and she learns what she was or whatever, I still have a huge problem with the storyline even being a thing in
I think
2024.
I think she was just stuck in a gimmick. It was like the Stardust. Remember how Stardust was stuck as Stardust but didn't know how to like get out of that?
Remember when that took place?
What year?
Not 2024, I can tell you that.
I know, but
The gimmick just doesn't make sense for today's audience. For me, at all. It's a miss immediately. Like
yeah.
the payoff is going to be here. Oh, I remember what I was, and I remember. Would she remember she retired? Is she just going to retire again? I don't know. Everything I've seen from it looks stupid. I have no investment in it. Ricochet, everything I see from him is he's getting fucking obliterated by people on Twitter because he's too dumb to think of. Like,
That's because he don't know how to cut promos.
yeah, in any fucking avenue, you can't cut him in real life, can't cut him online. Surprised the man can cut bread.
But he's making millions.
Well, I don't know. Do we know what his contract is from AEW? I would be very surprised if Ricochet got signed for more than. I wouldn't sign Ricochet for more than $1 million. But it's AEW and Tony Khan, so he's probably making fucking $5 million to just be alive.
Yeah. Sweet. I really dislike AEW. Like, I just wanted the place to be better wrestling. And if you can't do it, just shut it down. You tried. I give you that.
I don't even want to give them like the try, honestly, because they had this silver platter and they shit on it, and then it became too late to recover from shitting on it.
Because it was too much death matches and stuff like that.
But they were in a perfect realm where WWE was faltering, and they had about 3 to 4 years to capitalize on it, and the only thing they capitalized on was that like 1.5 years where nobody would say anything bad about them because oh, it's the honeymoon period.
Hey, you got a second?
It's just different, and I like it because it's different.
Hey, we don't know each other
Once
yet,
that wore off,
but I'm feeling
it all
small
fell
still.
apart.
I was in the middle of
Yeah. But there's only so much you could. There's only so much wrestling, like good wrestling. They're gonna do good wrestling regardless because they are good wrestlers. In the
Wrestling is
promotion.
also like wrestling entertainment is also like a fucking area where there's too much of it already.
Mhm.
I mean, people like it's not the same as like a TV show. You got TV dramas, comedies. It's like when Walking Dead came out, and then there was zombie shows all over the place. Too much zombie shows. I would say the exact same thing for wrestling at that moment.
You're serious.
And
You're giving me a shot.
now
All right.
you're seeing
Hang on,
the
hang
best wrestling show
I put together a
pretty
little
much
speech
overshadowed the
just in
other.
case you asked.
And
Hey there.
I'm not a
I'm
huge
James
fan of
Millstone.
either of them, but
I have prepared a list of reasons why I
there's
believe
people every
you
time I load
should
up
hire
Twitter, I
me
see
to
people
join the crew
fucking
of your ship and
just
or outlaw
jizzing in
gang.
their pants over anything that happens on AEW. It's weird because I don't see the same weirdly like over the top threads on Twitter for WWE as I see on AEW. It might just be my Twitter thread, but like the things I see is like alarm bells, explosions, AEW for God wrestlers only. And I'm like,
in the
what is
event of
this
a
shit?
firefight, standoff, and or raid.
I just don't
My
see the
motto
same like
is,
weird
if
like
it
that
is
to
the
me is
gun
100%
I'm your
like a
man.
bot response
That motto is a
to wrestling.
work in progress.
And I don't see the amount on my feed of bot responses to WWE
Additionally,
shit
I have
that I
several
see
years of
to
experience as a
AEW.
box hauler. This can
But
come in handy if
that
you need
doesn't
a
mean
body
anything
dragged
because
away
it's just my
or
feed.
a door held open while escaping enemy fire. In conclusion,
This guy
thank
kind
you
of
for
looks like a human.
considering me for your ship crew and or outlaw gang. I look forward to our
Well,
adventures together.
Yeah.
like Brad Maddox.
If he hadn't
Thanks for the
eaten
vote of
meat in
confidence.
like
What do you think?
a year.
Am I in?
Maddox.
Let me videotape your ball.
Wow.
I'll just never understand
don't
that.
know
I don't
how
think I'd
long
ever
I've been
get
waiting to
into
hear
a
that.
point in my life where
Thanks,
I'm
boss.
videotaping another man having
You're
sex
not
with a
gonna
woman.
regret this.
Especially if you
For
might
like
get
my
bored.
own archives.
You got a crew now, Felix.
Oh shit. That was the most weirdest thing that came out from WWE's employees.
Well, WWE had like the era of like sexual misconduct. That's what you might as well call it. Towards the end of the Vince McMahon era, everything was.
Maybe they did it for Vince.
Honestly, after the Kim Kardashian shit, I don't know if people are just leaking things online to get notoriety.
Kim and Ray J.
That was definitely like just people need to pay attention to us.
This is real space, isn't it? Empty.
I am also going to call it quits because I don't think it can form a sentence anymore.
Oh, this game is that old you have to save it? Oh.
Yeah, every game should have the save function where you have the like once you hit a milestone, save in the game automatically. And covering the year. Hmm. There's a lot of ones. Rayshon, will you be here?